about to go live on, the show's about to start. We're going to do what it needs to do today, folks.
And welcome to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. Welcome, 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 everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, everyone who is watching on Facebook. First of all, welcome to another live show. And thank you guys for hanging out with us. You know, I am so thankful that a lot of you guys will hang out with us and just, do what you guys are doing on this Sunday afternoon. But we have another exciting live show, you guys. So excited about doing this. So what I want to do is introduce to you guys once again my co-host, Mr. Nolan P. Holloway Jr. How you doing, Nolan?
Doing fine, doing fine. I am just filled today. Had a very nice church service this morning in the house at Lakewood Church of Hope. And feeling good about our conversation today. You know, I always look forward to doing Level Up, Angie. And then you got a little surprise guest today, and you're doing a little thing here and there. All I do is just sit back and I do my job because number one, I want to have a position, don't want to be dropped, and don't want to get demerits.
Ain't nobody gonna do none of that. But listen,
Angie,
now
you have given me demerits before.
We know about demerits today. He is absolutely right when we're going to surprise you guys with someone. We have a guest co-host today, everyone, and I want you guys to like fall over because when I reveal who this person is, he's pointing at me. There she is, everyone.
She's not even a guest. She's a pop-up today.
Hi, Gina.
Hi, Nolan.
Gina, how are you?
A minute and a half.
Just
last time I saw you DJing the pop-up that we had. You was throwing it down. It was Gina DJ, and she was and Christal. She surprised me because girl got skills. Excuse me, the woman has skills.
Stop doing it. She's like moving the camera.
She has skills. I'm just saying.
And before we get any further down the road, you guys, before we get real comfortable with one another, I know Crystal was like, Lord, what I get myself into? Hey, Crystal Cherry, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Well, girl, we're excited that you are taking the time out to be with us. So please, everyone, what I would like for you guys to do, if you are watching on Facebook, you guys can head on over to YouTube and find us the same way. The Real Level Up. The Real Level Up. You guys, please head on over to The Real Level Up because very soon we'll be going exclusively on YouTube at The Real Level Up. So, Crystal, we are so excited that you have made it to the show. I know you and I have been going back and forth trying to figure out, girl, what's the date?
Yes.
But the date is right for what we're going to be talking about today. And girl, just tell our audience just a smidge about yourself before we go to break.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, let's see. I am a native New Yorker. I've been here in
Hold on. Native New Yorker, that's what I'm talking about. So am I.
High five. I've been here this time. This is my second time here in Atlanta. I've been this time 15 years. Prior to that, I was here 5 or 6 years. And when I had my midlife crisis, when I turned 30, I decided to go back home to my parents and go get my graduate degree from Hampton University. And then made a stop in Washington, D.C. for a few years. And now I'm back. So
you done said
You said New York and then you said Hampton.
HU. All right.
Hampton hugs. There we go.
Chris, you're gonna have a complete family.
So we all come up top. We all stick together. anywhere in the tri-state area, not Buffalo, not Syracuse, New
No,
York.
New York City, straight out of Brooklyn, okay?
Manhattan, the Bronx,
Yeah, Queens.
Manhattan, the Bronx, and Brooklyn. That's it.
Yes. Well, wait a minute. Don't forget the Queens. A minute.
So
Okay.
I did too. Born in the Bronx, raised in Queens, represents Brooklyn.
Okay. There you go, and all of that.
She gonna get her JD out. Well, listen, everyone. Of course, we're gonna have a special time today. Always having a great time. And the only thing that we said to Christal today said, "Girl, look, this is the only thing you gotta remember. Have a good time. That's it. That's it. That's all."
Right.
So,
Y'all gave me permission to cut up.
well, listen, we're definitely going to have a great time speaking with Christal. Of course, we're always talking about how your passion turns into your purpose. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just now joining us, please head on over to The Real Level Up on YouTube. The Real Level Up on YouTube. What I want everyone to do, I want you guys to get set up on YouTube because very soon we're going exclusively on YouTube, and I don't want you guys to miss another live show. But before we go to the break, Mr. Scribe, are you ready to set the tone?
Well, with the prayer or with the scripture?
Let's do the scripture first, then the prayer. Come on now.
No problem. Yeah, I have a scripture from Joshua, first chapter, the 9th verse. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened and do not be dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go.
Woo! Okay, so someone around here, someone around here was like,
That's my script. That's well. I like a lot of them, of course, but that one right there, strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Holloway.
Absolutely.
Another Holloway
Absolutely.
bringing the word Lord.
Oh God. So you know what Mr. Scribe always do? He always bring the word, and then not only that, you guys. Before we go to break, we do want to say a word of prayer because always we want to usher in God. He always shows up, and let me just say this: that is where, and that's what we do believe. The reason why a lot of our shows are so off the chain. It has nothing to do with us. It has all to do with God, and He always set the tone when we begin our conversation.
Mm.
So with that said, you guys, please hit that share button. If you are watching on Facebook or if you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, hit the share button. On YouTube, subscribe first, then hit the share button. So, Mr. Scribe, if you are ready to bring us into prayer as well, will you do us the honors?
Dear Father, we just want to thank you for bringing us together today as a group. Be in the midst of this show. So just continue to guide us and direct us with our guest so she can share her story that it might touch someone in a positive and uplifting way. Continue to love us, continue to watch over us, and continue to protect us with everything that's going on in the world today. We pray this in the spirit of your Son. Amen.
Amen. All right, you guys, we're going to head on to our first break. Now, this will give you an opportunity. If you have not done any of the sharing, when we go to break, this will give you an opportunity to do it. But here's the other thing. I know you guys are going to go ahead and get your snack and come on back, but don't only get your snack. Don't come back right away because I want you guys to know that we are always supporting the independent artists. We have 2 independent artists that are going to come right up right now. And throughout the show, you guys, we are supporting the independent artists. So if you know anybody who is an independent artist that is looking to, put their projects out, please send them our way. Now, there's only one thing that we're looking for. We're looking for inspiration. We're looking for gospel. We're looking for Christian. Of course, this is a Christ-centered show. So please, you guys, don't send anything crazy because it won't get played. All right? Well, you're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. We'll be right back.
With praise for are my brother. I hold your arms up when you're weak. I listen when you speak. Never hold you back. I'll meet you on all we've got. We'll walk in unity. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out in praise for you. Please come hear me. When she's lost inside my soul, my spirit rejoices.
Now can you hear me? Then don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Then don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Then don't you fear me? If you can hear me, please come near me. Can you hear me? Then don't you fear me? Please come near me.
I won't harm you. I'll never turn my head away. I'll lift you up each and every day. We'll take each step on that road, building heaven here on earth for all mankind. A life with dignity. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul, my spirit rejoices in you. Can you hear me? Hear my humble cry. My soul cries out with praise for you. Please come near me. Quench this thirst inside my soul, my spirit rejoices in you.
What about all the people? Can you hear me?
We about to fly. We about to soar across the sky. Just be chill. Come on, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is PROMISSLAND Ministry, FIRE on the MIC. Cross legacy, you blood boy, you kin to me. His blood brought adoption agency for the Lord's cause. When the law force conspiracy, the Lord talk to the black sheep. It's just been Gene dying cause your color. Son dying for a mother. Cain killed his brother, but we still able. Put your heart on the table, put your head in the halo. Helping hand to amigo, help the word when you feel low. Across the sky, because if you lay down and die, they gonna say you never stood for nothing when the devil was bluffing. You cussing and struggling, now cops handcuffing, stuffing you, pushing you in the car to take a ride. When you make bail, boy, I'm telling you, better the sky, not how you begin. All about the way you carry while you pray and slay. From Monday before you gone, is grass greener on the cemetery lawn? Be about that life, about that gospel. Disciples living never die. FLY. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, didn't burn up. Still bars, couldn't hold up. Fire flames, couldn't burn up. Allow me to take this time and learn you something, youngin'. Ain't no future in frontin', your future in front of you. Who are you frontin' for? Transparency is the forefront of what's possible. Thugs turn to
apostle, streets on the pulpit, the realest thing I ever seen. Go ahead and fly, best of both worlds. Get the best out of you when you call. Too blessed for stress, too anointed for disappointment, too endowed to act how, too sanctified to believe the devil lies, too slain to feel any pain, too much favor to be on the naughty list, too much discernment to let you pick my gift, too prayed up to let my flesh mess it up. Too many brothers and sisters in Christ to feel like I ain't got no family, holy rolling with me. I'm about to fly, set the sky aflame, holy fire dragon, breathing on folks' pain, filled with propane. Living water is heated, hot tea for the hot topic. Can't top his performance or fit my God into a locket. Get the picture? 1 million prophets take flight, 100 million prophecies manifest. Ancestry.com, bloodline, loyalty. You better fly.
Ikemia Arrington is a career empowerment speaker, business strategist to career professionals, and employed entrepreneurs who are building their businesses while working demanding full-time job, as well as a visionary event producer. She is on a mission to help the masses take career control by positioning them to transition into careers, businesses, and life they love on their terms. Kim certainly affirms that you can love Mondays by doing only the work you desire and enjoy. Who says you can't love your Mondays? Kim affirms that you most certainly can.
Nothing excites me more than to see children read the books that I illustrated and helped bring to life. You know, it's the process from start to finish, and you know, at the finish line, you see the children smiling and excited and sharing the stories with other children about, you know, an image or a book that they read. Another thing that gives me joy is working with new and upcoming writers, people who have all these stories that they want to tell, and you know, things that they want to share with the world, you know, just like, you know, me wanting to express myself as an artist and, you know, share my expressions. You know, people are doing the same thing with their stories, and to help I feel like I'm helping making their dream come true.
You know, babies and beards is a cause. You don't see too many images of black fathers portrayed in the media. But I know for a fact on the ground level, it's a lot of brothers who beat all odds to get the job done daily. The job is passing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the next generation, despite the role you may play in the lives of the youth. I hear a lot of brothers say, well, what if I don't have a beard? It works from skin too, and the strength of a beard is manhood. What if I don't have a baby? Part of our purpose on earth is to keep the kids safe, no matter the relationship. At least that's what I thought. Our product helps spread the message around the world as a symbol of growing together.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
My name is Kelly Bryan, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I use the low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, a.k.a. Mr. Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
This is Marion Boyd with Marion Collection, real talk that takes you higher. Level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. It's ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Melly coming at you from the Camp Transformation Center in Davie, Florida, and I need you to level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's your boy, Mark Buddington, a.k.a. Money Mark. Let's level up on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories. Yeah.
This is Dr. Renee Andrews, author of God Has a Plan for You, Life After Divorce. Level Up, real talk that takes you higher, on Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to Level Up, real talk to take you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. Welcome, 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 everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, everyone who is watching us on Facebook, did you know you can head on over to YouTube? All you have to do is find us at The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button. All right, you guys, let's get right back into our conversation. And we want to welcome once again Christal Cherry. Thank you, girl, for coming in on the show.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, girl. Yes, I know it's been, quite some time that we've, been going back and forth trying to get you on the show, but you're a busy lady.
Yes, I am. Yes, in a good way, yes.
In a good way. In a good way. Yeah. So what I want to do, of course, I want to unpack. I want my audience to get to know you. And so, I'm about to ask, right? Everybody knows what I'm about to ask. Who was little Christal at 10 years
Oh
old?
my gosh. Let's see, at 10 years old. So I'm the oldest of 4 girls. So at 10 years old, my youngest, and I was a rambunctious kid, and the jovial kid, the jokester, the one that mom always had to chide for not listening and not doing what I was supposed to do. My sister right underneath me is the obedient sister. She was the sister who always came home and took off her school clothes and started her homework.
Everything right?
Right. And I'm outside playing in my school clothes. Mama said, don't go past the lamp in the tree. I'm past the lamp in the tree. All that stuff. So I was just a free spirit that was just going to do me and take the consequences later.
Now, wait a minute. I might have missed it. Did you say you're the oldest of 4 girls?
I am.
Guess what, girl?
What?
Before my mom married my stepfather, and I don't say step, but I say it for this conversation. But before that, I am number 3 of 4 girls.
Of 4 girls, yes. God bless your parents, yes.
Oh, no, let me tell you how much you need to continue to bless them, because when they came together, when Winifred and Marvin came together, he had 2 girls.
Oh.
So it was 6 girls.
Oh, Jesus. I'm so sorry for your folks. Yes.
You hear the ouch on
Yeah, that's a lot.
Here's number 7 right here, y'all. That's number 7.
That's a lot of estrogen. Yes.
A lot of estrogen. Stop, Nolan. Stop. So I didn't understand, what your household might have been like, because here's the thing that I heard you say, that for, every child is different. So
yes.
You're raising 4 different people.
Yes.
In one, how do you, okay, girl, how does she do that?
I asked her today and she said she don't remember. part of my life I have totally forgotten. You know, she said, you kick into gear and you do what you got to do. I mean, she was young. She married at 19, dropped out of college, was one of her biggest regrets. Dropped out of college. She was going to be a doctor and married my dad, who had just come back from the military. They had courted since they were about 12 years old. And when he came back from the military, he proposed and she married him. And then like a year later, I was there. And then she just kept having kids until she was about 30. And I guess she realized, wait a minute, what the hell? Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Christian show. I'm sorry.
Real talk to Terry. Come on now. Come on now.
I think they were trying for the boy. And then when the boy just was not going to happen, my mom was like, look at here. We're going to have to, get a boy dog or something because this is like, we're going to shut it down. So, at 10 years old, my baby sister was being born. And I was just, I like to ride my bike. I bloomed late, so I played with Barbie dolls way up into my teens. My sisters will laugh at me to this day and say, okay, why were you like 17 years old still playing with a Barbie doll? But look, here.
Because you were imagining, look, Nolan, I'm trying to help her out. Your imagination was still growing.
Is that it? And interestingly enough, I used to want long hair because my hair is either bald or about this. This is a lot of hair. But my mom said I used to run around the house with the pajama shirt on with 2 sleeves, and it had to be the sleeves with the yellow sleeves because I wanted blonde hair, Then when I became an adult, interestingly enough, I went bald, right? I just decided, zoop, 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 and for the last 30 years, I have fluctuated between bald and this little afro that you've seen. So
wait, Christal, you talking about completely bald like the dome that we see on the other side of it?
I mean, like just a smidget of hair, like fur, right, all the way down, absolutely.
Okay, well, Christal, look, you got the perfect head though for it. So let's stop all
Angie
that.
from the B. This dome might not have hair, but it radiates so much knowledge that hair can't grow on it.
Oh, I know, I feel it. Why. I feel the power right now. It's blinding me. It's shocking.
Gina.
I love it, though. I love it.
She loves it.
But that's what it is. But my thing is, the sisters or just women in general with short hair, for me as a man, everybody else is wearing long hair, stylish, and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. But it just, to me, they were bold, they expressed themselves, and they were very confident in themselves because they could wear a hairstyle like that. I mean, it's popular now, but I'm talking about when you were doing it back then, that was making a statement because people looked at you a certain way, you were dressed in a certain way, plus you're a woman, and you're an African-American woman. So she's probably some political organization, or she's probably part of some,
I got all of that. Yes. Got the, first day, I had people ask me if I had cancer, which I think is really egregious, but people asked me if I had cancer. They would ask me if I was a lesbian. I had one little girl asked if I was a man or a woman, and it's okay. I remember one time I was in the bathroom of a public restroom, and I was brushing my teeth, and I guess when the person came in from behind me and saw me standing there with my bald head, she said, oh my God, and she backed out thinking she was in the men's room. And then she went back and looked at and she came back, and I was like, no, I'm a woman. And she's like, okay. So yes, I've had the whole gamut in terms of questions about everything because of my hair, and have been told I should grow it out because it'll make me softer, or I'm more employable, or I'm not as intimidating.
Wow.
All those things.
That's that judgmental piece. That's the piece of judgmental. Instead of a person getting to know who you are by like what we're doing today, they get to know you. They already got their preconceived notions, and that's a whole other conversation. But people zone into short hair, it means all these different things, and that's not you at all. But they don't take the time to find that out.
Yeah. Well, I'm the queen of I can be feminine whether my hair is short or long, so it doesn't really matter. But we're socialized to believe that long hair is the way to go. I mean, even my son says, "Mom, when I grow up, I'm going to marry a girl with long hair." And I said, "Dude, that's your prerogative." But mommy's hair is what it is, and so I never decided that I was going to give in and just grow my hair out because everyone said that was the better hairstyle. So.
Wow. Okay, what you got? Go, Gina, go ahead.
That's my one India. Well, it's 2 India Ari songs called all
Yes,
dye wrong.
I'm not my hair.
Not my hair.
I loved when that song came
For
out.
us as black women, because we are so versatile in the way and the things that we can do with our hair. I mean, I think the thing that shocked me that you said it was somebody backed up out of a restroom. Like, you playing games right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not even for real right now. You just putting on. You trying to see if somebody is going to be around and catch you to, do your 1 minute elevator speech so you can get to Hollywood. Stop playing. They knew darn well that they weren't in the men's restroom. Stop playing. I just get, see, okay, and I'm sorry.
No, but that's an
Turn her
issue.
loose, Angie. Turn her loose.
But that's the issue though, because trying to make your way in the world, we already know situations and circumstances where they put us. Now, obviously, people want to self-express, but we know that whoever they are, want to categorize you and put you in a box. And when you don't go in the box, then you're criticized or you're labeled or you look at a certain, just being a person of faith. People want to put you in a box. Oh, because you believe this is the kind of no, that just because I believe there's certain things that I struggle with, certain things that I am, my personality, I joke around, I like to have a good time, and they're expecting I'm supposed to be staunch and weak and do all these different things because that judgmental piece comes there. But I've always wanted to be a person to be expressive and to be different from everybody. Nobody wants to be cookie cutter, but some people want to fit into that because it's comfortable.
Yes.
And
what you also
I'm
might
comfortable.
not know about me is, in addition to being bald, I'm 6 feet. So I'm 5'10", almost 6 feet. So with me being tall and then bald and then being from New York and pretty direct, I can't do it. I'm not one of those persons who can come into a room and melt away. So
Christal, I can just imagine from New York, that tall, you was being on it, walking to the store. People would have been checking because to a lot of brothers, intimidating.
Yes, I got a lot of that. Yes.
Look, we've already got some comments from Mary Goolsby. Mary says, yes, that's the real issue with hair. Thank you, Mary. That's the real issue with hair. I mean, why are we?
I'm trying not to because y'all don't want me to take off this piece right here.
No.
Listen, because I've had short hair. I've had short hair,
right.
and because so let's just talk about it then. I know we're going to get to the book, but let's just talk about this because the Lord has led us here, and even if He didn't, we're here. Okay,
yes.
So be strong and courageous, right, Nolan? Joshua 1:9. Strong and courageous in this conversation.
Absolutely.
Because, for me, and not until I got to New York because I grew up in Gary/Chicago. And not until I grew up in Gary, and I, first of all, was too light. I didn't like being light-skinned in Gary because we was the first CC, says George Clinton. And then I had these braids down the side of my head. And I didn't understand why some girls liked me before I even opened my mouth. I didn't like that because I hate to be like Robin Gibbons, but I'm a nice person. So, I just didn't understand, but like these things have been perpetuated in our community.
Yes.
And they were perpetuated by us. It is a direct byproduct of slavery in this country, and I have no problem and no qualms talking about it because it is what it is. But at some particular point in our generation, we have to get past that. We have to be able to love one another. But I will tell you this, that when I cut my hair off, and I will really say I thank Halle Berry, for being bold and courageous. Toni Braxton, in that day. Jada Pinkett in that day.
Yes.
People who went ahead and cut a total, a fad. It wasn't a fad, but necessarily like it was. But I would speak for myself because I felt free.
Yes.
And people, especially in New York, would ask me if I was Puerto Rican, and then I would open my mouth and say, "Habla española el negro." And but when I cut my hair, nobody asked me that anymore. And so it really was just an issue of hair. And then, I think of when you say, your height and everything, I think about Phyllis Hyman.
Oh, yeah.
She comes to mind immediately because I think her height made her struggle. And I'm 5 feet. So, sometimes that makes me struggle look for that perfect balance. They look for the right length hair. They look for the right height. They look for what is any of that to anyone, and it certainly is not anything to God. I'm done right now, but
No, but Gina, to your point, you're a singer and entertainment and things like that. And I know Gina have experienced that in the entertainment business. If you're a book writer, people have a certain perception of what you should look like. You're a singer, you're a person that's out there. People want you to look the way they want you to look. Oh, this is the look we want. Women that model, oh, we have to have this height, this type. But it goes all back to the flaws of man. The flaws of mankind as judging our history, as Gina alluded to, how we have some, even we turn it inward sometimes, comparing dark versus light. Oh, you have pretty hair because you're this. Oh, you got nappy hair because you're this. And we're still struggling with all these different things.
Yes.
In the gist of the big picture, as far as Christ is concerned, we're all beautiful because we're all in his image, but that little tinge of the imperfect sin that is dribbled all around this world gets to where, oh, you're too dark, you're too short, you're too tall. We're trying to get past that and be able to walk in our skin and walk boldly like, I'm not gonna give in like you haven't. I'm not gonna give in to what you say I should be. I know who God made me to be, and that's who I'm gonna be. I'm not going to, because a lot of people compromise. A lot of people compromise when it comes to, I'm gonna wear my hair a certain way because they wearing their hair a certain way. I want to kind of be like them because they're privileged or they got this or they have that. And to walk on your own is not easy. To be
well,
individual.
Society tells us the whole image of beauty is, well, it used to be, like it used to be fair with long straight hair or straight crinkly hair, right? I mean, now it's more acceptable to wear your hair short, but even still, society, I mean, most of the time when you see the girls in the videos and stuff, they're swinging all that hair all around that, that's not theirs. And they have these bodies that, are not realistic for most of us. And we think that that is the epitome of what a woman should look like. And so
but that's the world. But that's what the world tells us. The world tells us is, if you don't look like this, and I'm talking from the women's side, as a man, even as men, this is what you need to go after. This is what you want. And we're going to show you what you want. Even though that might not be your preference, here's what the standard is.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing wrong. I love the versatility of us as a people. Our music,
Me too.
Creative, all different type of things they take from the culture, but they don't want to be part of the culture, but they want to just take certain things. Hair could be long, hair could be short, we can be tall, we can be fair, and that's the beauty of, that's when I came into, really in my early 20s, as a black man, being proud to be black, not wanting to be anything else other than what I am.
So no, hold that thought. Hold that thought. We got to take a break. When we come back, you guys, oh my goodness. See, now Christal started this.
Sorry.
Yay, Christal. Can we talk about it? We're going to continue to talk about it. Listen, if you guys want to join in on this conversation, please put your questions and comments in the comment section at The Real Level Up on Facebook as well as YouTube. Join in on the conversation. You're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. He's moved me over. We'll be right back.
See, now this is one of those old school rules. So we need everybody
bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time, no, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh,
spinning round like a carousel, never sick, still looking well. He helped me win on the battlefield, and I tell the truth like a tattletale. And I'm out of jail like I'm out on bail, and I don't feel like I don't tell the whole truth. Without Christ, it's like a ship without a sail. Look, back in the day, lacking away, I just happened to pray after the day. He just happened to say he loves me, defeating my enemies like an animal, attacking the prey. They say he evil, Jesus, he just wanna save people. Ain't no way we gonna stay equal. Grab your wings and soar with the eagles.
Protected by the shield and by the sword. Every blessing that you got comes by the Lord.
He got keys to the gates and keys to death and hell and the grave. He'll set you free like you was a slave. You'll run real fast like you was the lame. Protected.
You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time now. You can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time. No, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh,
Protected in this bubble like bubble wrap. He's knocking on the door of your heart like double tap. Praise him twice, double clap. He just set up a double trap. The enemy fell in and God chopped him with his double axe. Facts, all of the chains he is breaking it. Satan's kingdom he is shaking it. All this evil I am forsaking it. The kingdom of heaven I'm making it. Made in Satan, hating blessings. You know I'm gon' rake in. Ain't going nowhere, they all staying. If you wonder where I'm at, I'm gon' face in. It's water.
Oh yes, no stress, and he will bless you best.
Holiness, holiness, I roll with the Lord, ain't no loneliness. Only this power of God, I am holding it. Taking my freedom back, I am not loaning it. I am protected.
You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time now. You can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected. You can't touch me. I'm resurrected. You can't crush me. I'm taking my time. No, you can't rush me. I'm in this bubble. You can't bust me. Oh, I'm protected.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures. Exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire and welcome to Ask the Good Doctor, and we are live here at the Essex Culinary Resort and Spa.
We're here at the Wellness Warrior this weekend, and there are wonderful local companies here representing products that are wellness-based.
Hi there, good morning. We just finished water aerobics. I enjoyed myself able to do movements that I could never do on my land. I feel like I'm 20 again.
We got to relax and really breathe and really connect with our bodies, and I loved it.
Your story is everybody's story. You must stand where there is darkness, we must find light.
It was Grandma who instilled in her that she must hold her head up straight.
If you've got to be 25 to 30 years old and you've not talked with a therapist, put the book down and go get a therapist.
Finding vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy.
As the theme goes so far this evening, you gotta get that stuff out.
I consistently pause before I speak. I'm Dr. Wilma Hunt Watts, a podiatric physician and surgeon, also known as a podiatrist.
We're here doing a pain management clinic.
All of these skincare collections are designed to be mixed and matched, depending on what your skincare needs are.
We had a good time, energy, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
And today we are doing Kitchen Warriors. At Kitchen Warriors, I actually prepare a meal, teach everyone how to make it, and then we sit down and eat it together. This is from outside. This is the whole farm-to-table concept here at the Essence.
The fruits of the Spirit have been reignited inside of me. So I'm walking out of here with my joy, with my peace, and my love. So I am a better mother, a better woman when I go back home.
This is Terrell Murphy. Get inspired with Level Up. Real talk that takes you higher.
You are listening to Level Up with Sisters of the Skies Incorporated.
Hey, this is Richard Shaw Jr. Make sure you're believing again. Also, level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Amos Johnson, pastor of Church for Entrepreneurs. Let's level up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
This is Jackie, Hollywood Mims. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the Bee. Welcome, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, everyone who is watching us on Facebook, you can head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. Not only that, please hit that subscribe button. All right, look here. Let's get back into this conversation. Woo! Mr. Scribe, I don't know the last time that we had a discussion like this okay, first of all, let me make sure that I get these comments in before we start talking again, because we're not done. Christal, you done came on here. You done came on here and
start cutting up, huh?
My beautiful sister. Let me say this. Mary said once again, we need to support each other with whatever hairstyle we choose.
Yes.
Mary. Very inclined. Oh, wow.
Amen. Okay, y'all see my hand right here?
Okay, her hands up.
I have your permission. Mr. Scribe, do I have your permission?
Oh, absolutely, Gina. Absolutely.
Do I have your permission? So let me say this. So you know how you and I went to Hampton. And it wasn't until I really got to Hampton that I became okay with myself. And I'm going to get a little tear in my eye because I loved growing up in Gary so much. I loved who we are as a people. I loved in that time frame what Gary was because we were a self-sufficient community. Everybody that I grew up with was Black. My father was a funeral director. My mother was a teacher. The pharmacy was a Black-owned pharmacy. Everything, like everything and everybody. And so I was just so proud. And, I felt like in some ways, I was less than because I wanted to be more than. And when I finally got to Hampton, I went to Hampton on a scholarship as Miss Black Teenage World. First of all, I didn't even think I could win it because I was too loud. A bad place for our children to even be, for us to have to absorb because of the nation that we live in, because of racism, because of colorism, because of sexism. But I have to tell you, when I got to Hampton, my mouth just dropped open. And I saw people in every hue. I saw black people in every hue. I saw black people that definitely looked white with blue eyes and blonde hair, but they was black because their features were black. I saw black Asian looking people with green eyes. I saw everybody. And so those 4 years were the best time, in my life to build my confidence. And that's what HBCUs can do.
Yes.
And not that can't happen other places, but I will say for me, seeing all of my brothers and sisters in all of the places that we've come from across the diaspora and within our country, it was an amazing time, and we all loved each other. And, even to this day, love up on each other. And not to say that there weren't issues. I'm not going to make it, paint that perfect. But it was as perfect as a kid. Because I look at you, and I'm like, ooh, that girl in that purple right there. She is doing the whole doggone thing. She is gorgeous. She is beautiful. And that's just how, as Miss Walker said, that's how we need to be. We need to graduate to another place. We need to be strong and courageous and love each other where we are. Because that takes strength. It takes courage. So I'm done. But I just want to say
Well, respond to that, Christal, before we get into anything else. Well, respond to that. What's your thought?
Yeah. Well, first of all, purple is my favorite color, so I'm always about the purple. I'm a Prince fan. So look, check out I have my
wife.
My Prince.
Where is my wife?
Always close by.
Look at it, Chris. Funny.
Now,
Girl, we got a lot of comments. But I
go ahead.
with what you said because well, first of all, I went to Hampton as a graduate student, and to pay off my tuition, I lived and worked on campus. So I was a dorm director at Twitchell Hall.
Oh wow! Twitchell.
So I was responsible for 235 freshman girls.
Wow.
It was very interesting, and they called me the warden because I didn't play, and they came in third and fourth generation Hamptonians thinking because their mama was there and their grandmama was there and their auntie was there that they were going to come in and cut up, but not under my watch. So I got a chance to really be a part in the campus, not only as a grad student, but as an employee and as a person who was there with them in their dorms and could see the students and everything. And so it was a life-changing experience and also a life-affirming experience. And for me to be able to channel some of what I had learned into these young women who were just coming of age and coming into themselves and for the first time being away from home. And so it was a wonderful experience.
I love it.
Yeah. So.
Go ahead, Mrs.
Yeah.
No, I was just going back to the Prince reference. Gina got up and got a huge poster. My wife is a huge Prince fan. There you go, is a huge Prince fan. And the only thing I can think about, I just saw something the other day on Facebook. It said, "This is the only man that can have his hair, wear his hair the way he want, and high heel shoes.
Yes,
take your
woman. Yes, I saw that.
I was like, and it's all true. It's all true. But I mean, a musical genius, and I love music, all different types of music. And yes, I was into Prince. I can remember being a teenager when my friend, this is when you went to the record store, because my daughter and them didn't know about vinyl. They were like, what's vinyl? Vinyl's when you actually went to a record store and bought a record. And he went and got Prince's first album. And from the time he put it on that turntable, he was hooked. I'm saying we read all the different instruments he played and all of that. Yes. So I can understand why people like Prince. I mean, a prodigy.
Yes.
I'm not about to say nothing. Mr. Scribe said all of it. She is wearing all of it. And
yes. All about the purple.
And I like purple too, y'all. I wear it once in a while.
All right, we give shouts out to Omega Sci-Fi while we're at it.
Oh, yeah, them cues. Those cues
get to know you. So, did you actually pledge? I mean, just kind of piggybacking.
I did not. I was me by me. So yeah, no.
So look, me find the people that do pledge are like me find me. Look at y'all.
Let me tell you something. I may have pledged, but I'm still me by me, and they knew that, man. Like, for real?
I went to I went and checked out the Deltas a little bit, and then just decided. And I still have friends to this day who are still trying to get me to pledge. Like, girl, you just need to go ahead and do it. You've been talking about doing it for 40 years.
Wow. Yeah, in my family, my father didn't pledge, but his two brothers did. They pledged AFIA, and my aunts, the one that's still with us, and my cousins and my sister are all AKA.
Yes, my sister is an AKA too. Yes.
So what we can't do, and I'm going to leave it alone at this note, even in that, for us as a Black community, because we are a community, even if there are communities inside of the community, we cannot be divided by anything.
That's true.
Yes.
I'm done.
It's so funny when she does
right.
that.
And she's right. Because what happens is with division, you're giving, I don't want to call it the enemy because that's kind of
call it that though. That's what it is.
The enemy has a stronghold because it's like, as long as we can keep these folks divided, they're not going to progress. We just saw this documentary maybe a month ago about Tulsa, Oklahoma, where, as Gina was talking about, they were, we don't want to have nothing to do with you. You guys go over there and do your own thing. When they went and did their own thing with their whole town, where they had all their businesses and they thrived, what happened? Oh, you guys are doing too well, so let's go over and kill and destroy.
Oh, that's a whole. Christal.
Stuff, y'all.
I'm just trying to keep within the theme of, even though we've had so many things happen to us, and as a believer, I'm talking from the believer standpoint, we still move forward. We still strive. We still have that strength because it took a strong people to withstand all those different things. We go back to the word, the Israelites, and all the times that they acted up and God punished them and they went through a hard time, he always redeemed them. And I believe that we as a people, maybe not in my lifetime, but at some point are going to have to come full circle and come together. It may happen while I'm here. Maybe my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren may see that day. But I can't, you always have to be hopeful because that gives us something to do.
Yeah. As an adult, when I worked at the United Negro College Fund, I worked with the Divine Nine, and
wow,
I was very impressed with all of them because we did a campaign where we invited them to come together and do a campaign to support students who we were trying to give excellent education to, and they all came through. The AKAs, the Deltas, the Alphas, the Qs, everybody came through and supported the work that we were doing. So that was one time where I saw everybody put all their differences aside, and they all realized that education was a priority. And we did like this big campaign, and people were texting the money in, text to give, and sending in their checks and all. We raised upwards of $100,000 in just a few months, 3-4 months. From the Divine Nine, and so that was really a wonderful experience. So yeah, so when we have to come together, I know we all have our differences, our different colors, and our different steps, but when we have to come together and pull it through, we show up and show out. So yes,
brings us to collecting courage, doesn't it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going away again.
Well, listen, yeah. So, I definitely want to eventually get into the book and how you, came to, putting that together. But like soon after your time at Hampton, which you, like you said, you did graduate school at Hampton. That's correct. Okay. Right after graduate school, where did God lead you?
My goodness. After graduate school, I thought I was coming back to Atlanta because I lived in Atlanta and had left. Remember when I had my midlife crisis, I bounced out. And I thought I was going to get my graduate degree and come right back. But God had different plans. I got recruited to work at American University in Washington, D.C., which is where I started my career as a fundraiser, because my plan was to get my PhD in education, and I wanted to be a college president and help nourish young minds. At American University, Sharnita Parker, who is still a good friend, who talked me into becoming a fundraiser. And at the time, I was like, no, I don't want to be a fundraiser. First of all, I don't even know what that is. And second of all, I'm here to change and nourish young minds. That's why God put me here on this earth. But anyway, she just kind of talked to me and just said, you have such a great personality. You know, you're outgoing, you're extroverted. You know, people respond to you. You can still work with kids and do this work. And plus this job is, you know, $15,000 more than what you make. And I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. And
DC or in Atlanta?
That was in DC. And so that's how I got started into my career in fundraising, and I've not looked back. So even though I didn't become a college president, I stayed in higher ed for the first 10 or 15 years of my career, and worked at many universities. So I worked at American, and then I worked at the University of the District of Columbia, and then I left there and worked at Spelman here in Atlanta. That's what brought me back to Atlanta. I took a job at Spelman. Then I worked at the United Negro College Fund. I did some consulting work with FAMU, Clark Atlanta, Morehouse. So my HBCU card is solid, and I've worked at just about all of them.
Christal, let me ask you this. How difficult, not what you did, but the transition with the HBCUs, because we've heard over the few years how Morris Brown had financial issues and they lost their accreditation, and some of the HBCUs get support from outside our community. Like, I think part of the NBA, some of the sports teams and things fund the HBCUs. How did you navigate through that? Because there was sometimes negative connotations regarding the HBCUs, not like the Alabamas and the Tennessees and the schools that's raising hundreds of millions of dollars for their facilities. How did you navigate through that?
Yeah, so I mean, companies back then, you know, corporate giving is shrinking now. Companies don't give it, and you know, like half of corporate giving now is in kind. But back in that days, companies were really interested in trying to tap into new young talent, new young Black talent, and so we were able to really get the ear of corporate executives by telling them we had a product that they were interested in, and so. In exchange for their financial support and really kind of investing in us, we would expose them and give them access to young graduates who were looking to find jobs. And so, Wells Fargo and some of these other big companies were interested in recruiting. And so not only did we have Morehouse and Spelman and some of the, bigger schools, but we also had Lane College, we had some of the other colleges that, hear about as much, but who still graduate, Claflin University, who still graduate, really talented, wonderful kids. And so we had access to 39 Black colleges and universities when I worked at United Negro College Fund that we could talk about. And so that was
said
really
that changed.
awesome fundraiser.
Yeah, but you said that changed as of like within recent history. You said it was at the time that you worked there, that's what they were looking for. Has that changed over time?
Well, no, I think, what has happened, unfortunately, with us having, when segregation was around, right? We all had to pretty much go to our own schools. We supported one another. And, a lot of folks were interested in supporting Black kids because we were going to Black schools. Now Black kids have so many options, right? A lot of the bigger schools, particularly the PWIs, give them, bigger scholarships. They have wonderful amenities, big campuses, and all kinds of things. And so the competition is stiff. And so there are a lot of other options. So now companies can still support Black kids who go to a PWI. They don't have to necessarily go to an HBCU to find that Black potential employee in the future or to support the future of a young Black person. So the competition now is bigger because our kids now have more access and choices to go to other places. And so that just makes it a little bit more difficult. But however, I will say this last year or two, our HBCUs have come out strong with some of the support that they have received from some of these gazillionaires who helping to clear out balances and all. So my niece is here. She's about to start Spelman next week. So I'm really pumped about that. I'm a big advocate of HBCUs.
Awesome. Okay, when we come back from our next break, Christal, I want to kind of dig into a little bit about what you're talking about regarding fundraising HBCUs, because I really think that is a great topic for you to kind of dive into. And then we're going to get into the book.
Yes.
We're going to talk about the book.
I can't wait.
Well, listen, everyone, please head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube, and hit that subscribe button. You're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from The Bee. We'll be right back.
I know it's gonna take me. No, I won't fall, but if I did not, it could break me. Don't let fear get in front of you. Know just where you wanna go. Know in your heart you'll arrive. Whatever is ahead of you, there is something that you should know. You're in for such a beautiful ride, and so I believe, oh I look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Gold skies over hill and the highway. My time thinking about the future, going my way. I learned ain't no use in pretending, so I'll give my all, and I'll always know the place of my beginning. Don't let doubt get in front of you. Know just where you wanna be. Know in your heart you'll arrive. Just when you think you know enough, you got so much to see. You're in for such a beautiful ride, and so I believe. Look how far I've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. Look how far you've come from where you came from. Look at where you're going. The possibilities of what you can be will never end. So just begin. The possibilities of what you will be will never end. So just begin. Won't you look how far you've come from where you came from? Look at where you're going. Look how far you come from where you started from. Look at where you're going.
Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you tried, things just still go wrong?
Many times.
What do you do?
I let go and let God.
All I'm asking from you is credit limit to where it was.
It's declined.
We're experiencing some financial hardships at the moment.
You have 6 days to make payment.
I can't believe this is happening.
You know, I never asked you to pray with me.
It's you and me. We got this.
wants to help you, Peter.
Excuse me?
But you're not letting him in.
Once. Last time we spoke, you took a man away from me I loved dearly. From that day, I swore to take matters into my own hands. But now I don't know what to do.
Won't you do? But I will pray for you.
I love you so much.
Capimo.
It was a miracle. You believe in miracles?
Listen, if you need me, you call me.
All of the angels in rejoicing. You gotta know that everything is gonna be okay.
What you want, baby, I got what you need. You know I got it. All I'm asking is for the respect when you get home. Hey, baby, when you come home, darling, I every woman is all in me. I can read your thoughts right now. If you walk from A to Z.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, one, keep God first, two, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally, three, never deter from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shattered, A Journey Through the Pieces.
Hey, guys, on Level Up.
It's your girl, Dr. Monique Frazier, owner of Prestige. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hey, this is Dr. Christal of Kaleidoscope Counseling Center. Level Up with me and Angie from the B every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Are you ready to go higher? Hey, this is the Minister April LaLand of Woman to Woman and Associates and Motivational Moments. Soldier, keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced with real talk that takes you higher. We are ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to Level Up Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, if you guys are just now joining us on Facebook, did you know you can head on over to YouTube? Please head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. There you can hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get right back into our conversation, everyone. And in the studio, our special guest by way of blue jeans, because we are being COVID compliant. Lord, we're going to talk about that a little bit too, Miss Christal, but not right now. But I want to get right back into Christal Cherry, who is in our studio by way of blue jeans, you guys. I mean, we've been having such an amazing conversation with Christal. Christal, that's why we are so honored that you have said yes to come on the show. Let me tell you one thing she did say, you guys, in our pre-show. She said, "What are we going to talk about in 3 hours?" It's like, look, we got so much to talk about. So I just want to get right back into this conversation when you were talking about, you know, what you're doing with the HBCUs, what you have done continue to do, as and also regarding fundraising. I do want to say one thing to you before you get into your conversation. There is somebody that is sitting next to me that has been involved with that too, with Morehouse School of Medicine. It's your sister again. The thing y'all have in common.
I almost couldn't stand it, could I? I was like, I'm so tired of Christal.
Yeah, wear me out. Wear me. Look, Christal, she said, we got another thing in common, Angie. So look, I know you guys will have a really, dynamic conversation as far as like, fundraising, especially with our HBCU's institution for those that are watching today. Can you guys kind of get more into what that's all about? Because here's the one thing that, it's my best friend, it's my girl, Christal. So I hear some of the things that she talks about and some of the things that she wishes that will, be better with us and HBCUs. And that is, the support. It's not, y'all can tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. It's not about just the money, but it's about, directing your attention to what we are trying to do with our HBCUs and raising the level of where the HBCUs are. So it's not just about money, but it's also about our time and our energy to putting into to raise the level and raise the conscious level of our young people. That what I do hear Gina say often, when I went to Hampton University, I saw family. I was taken care of. I was, so I want you guys to kind of like talk a little bit more about that, because it will educate those, everyone who's listening and watching where it is today.
So, there are some alums who are very loyal to their schools and who support their schools, and, you provide them with gifts of support every year, and high five and bravo to them. But there are a lot of alums who don't. And so that's one of the things that we're known for, unfortunately, is that they say that our alumni don't give. However, we can't totally blame the alumni, right?
Oh, okay. You tell.
So, as a fundraiser, we know that there are a lot of things that have to be in place in order for fundraising to be successful, right? So first of all, you have to have leadership who really understands through fundraising, right?
Look at her.
When I preach.
Fire over here.
So a lot of times, we have folks in positions of power and leadership who really don't understand what it takes to really fundraise. It's about, as you guys know, building those relationships, building trust. A lot of times we have a lot of drama going on inside our HBCUs at the top. And so sometimes we have a lot of transition. I think at one time I remember we had like 17 or 18 president positions open across all HBCUs. Wow. It was crazy to have that many seats open. So there's a lot of turnover at the top.
Okay.
And then sometimes we don't necessarily bring in folks who are really qualified to do the work, because bringing in frat, we bringing in cousin, we're bringing in. We had a VP of institutional advancement who was the retired town sheriff. We had, you was just like, who are these people? So I think the folks at the top sometimes don't understand what it really takes in order for you to be a successful fundraising shop. You have to have leadership who get it, who understand. Fundraising is about relationships. It's about trust. It's about longevity, because it's not an overnight thing. You can't raise money from big donors. People, I've had presidents say, we need to raise $300 million in the next 6 months. And I'm like, okay, let's talk about that. Who's in our database right now? Do we have people in our database who can give us that kind of money?
Wow.
And you get kind of like silence, because they don't know. And have we cultivated relationships with people who can make those kind of money? Are we really, really doing our due diligence and making sure that we're cultivating relationships with these people? And you get silence, right? Do we have all the infrastructure inside the office? Do we have qualified people? Do we have donor management software? Are we sending those thank yous?
Wow.
All those things that we know that need to happen and be in place inside the office, are all those things present?
Wow.
Are we cultivating those relationships year round besides just homecoming and reunion? And so all of those are the kinds of questions that you ask. And because of some of the egos of some of the leaders, I had one president tell me, well, listen, when you're the college president and you think you know how to run this university, then you can do it the way you want to do it. And I was just like, look, dude, I'm just trying to raise money. You hired me to raise money. I just need you to sign a damn thank you letter. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And so you got a lot of egos, right? And then particularly got male presidents, and then you got females like me who come in. I'm trying to support. He thinks I'm trying to be intimidating, trying to take your job. Dude, I'm not trying to take your job. You're the president. I'm the vice president. I'm here to raise some money for you. All I want you to do is to sign the donor thank you list so I can put it in the mail. But, that kind of stuff. And so I think, we have to take some responsibility for the fact that we have some drama on the inside that might not be putting us in the best position with our alumni. They see some of the drama that's going on. They see some inconsistencies. A lot of them remember, this is what I used to try to tell the folks inside the university. What you do with these students today, how you treat them in the financial aid office, how you treat them in the dormitory, how you treat them in the cafeteria, all the experiences they have, they will remember that when they graduate. And so and this is why I told them all of us are responsible for fundraising. The relationship starts here and now when they're freshmen and they're sophomore and they're juniors, because when they graduate and you send them that letter asking them to make a donation, they're going to remember Miss Jones in the financial aid office who had an attitude and who didn't get their financial aid paperwork processed on time. They're going to remember that. So here I come now as the fundraiser talking about, hey, Angie, hey, I understand you were a graduate of 2012. We would love for you to make a donation. And all you remember is the horrible experiences you had in financial aid and the fact that you didn't have no air conditioning in your dorm. So what I would try to tell the campus is, in order for us to raise money, particularly from alumni, it starts before they leave the school. We got to make sure we have all those things in place because people will remember. And they will remember the fun things. They will remember, going online, the cute boyfriend, the great parties, all those kind of things. But they will also remember how they were treated. And so if we don't start doing a good job now of making sure that students feel valued on campus, when they graduate, and here I come as the fundraiser saying, would you be willing to make a donation? They're going to give me the middle finger. So there's a lot of things that go into play in terms of why we struggle. White folks, I had the privilege of going to Hampton as a grad and a PWI undergrad.
Okay.
I went to Hofstra University in Long Island, New York, big white Jewish school, right? Let me tell you how Hofstra University sends me birthday cards. And how, when they found out that I had adopted my son, they sent me this little onesie thing that said Future Hofstra Alumni, and how they're constantly sending me the Hofstra magazine. And then when they had the Hofstra Alumni chapter here in Atlanta, they invited me to come, and we had reception and hors d'oeuvres on some rooftop. Like, they understand that if they want my donation, now here I've been graduated 35 years later, right? They realize I'm more accomplished in my career. I'm in the ability where I can make a larger donation. In order for me to continue to do those kinds of things, they have to cultivate this relationship with me and make me feel like I'm the only person that ever graduated from that school.
Wow.
Right? And so they get it. And so until our HBCUs understand that we have to build those kind of relationships. And some schools do. I mean, some of the bigger ones, they do it. I mean, I worked at Spelman. I know what a great job they do with their alumni. I mean, I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just saying that the folks at the top have to understand the things that need to happen in order for fundraising to happen. Fundraising just doesn't happen. You don't just fundraise. You got to ask people. You got to go get the money. You got to thank them. You got to steward them. You got to cultivate them. You got to keep those relationships going, letting them know what's going on. Particularly for those who have now graduated and gone back home to California or going on to New York. They're not in the culture anymore every day, right? And so if you're not keeping them apprised of what's going on campus and sending them all the good news and what's going on and how, because of what they did, they have raised the reputation of the school and their graduate degree is worth so much. Like, keeping them excited about what's going on campus, they're not going to continue to give. And so there's a lot of work that needs to happen that in some environments I know do not.
Wow. Go ahead.
So that's some of our challenges.
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Scribe.
No, I'm just sitting here shaking my head because here we go again. Every time we talk about our community, now, and this is HBCUs we're talking about, but across business, why do I keep hearing when I went to this particular business, the customer service wasn't good, the product wasn't what it needed to be, yada, yada, yada. Now we're going to college, which these are educated PhDs, all these different titles that they have, yet they won't. First of all, you're not knowledgeable. So why, when you put somebody in place that you hired to be knowledgeable? No, it's about ego, that male. Here we go again with our own community, the same issues we've been having for the last, since I've been on this planet. And I keep hearing it over, and it's discouraging in a way. I understand that I can be the change, but I'm really, really, really so tired of hearing similar stories over the course of so many different levels. For some reason, we just can't get it right, and I, understand it.
Yeah. Now some campuses, Harvey at Hampton, he's got the formula. Like he knows how to raise money from attorney.
I heard about him.
Okay, Harvey can raise money. I worked on Hampton's campus when we had our 200th. I think it was our 200th anniversary. I can't remember how much money he raised. He raised so much money it was ridiculous. And I think he's finally retiring after 100 years of being on campus. But he knows how to raise money. So there's some presidents and some schools that know it and they do a great job. And then there are a lot of the smaller ones who definitely struggle. But I think some of those things are some of the challenges that we have. And you'd be surprised by some of the drama and things that go on behind the scenes. And some of our bigger reputable. I mean, like I said, I worked at Spelman. I have friends right now.
But that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about it just has to be drama. It just has to, instead of, your Hofstra experience, like you said, these folks get it. It's a Jewish university. I'm not trying to pigeonhole and peg. They've had a history of being persecuted and all of that, but they're able to move into a certain situation to be able to do the things that they're doing. We come from a situation where we were 400 years and all of that, and now that we're not coming out of it because there's still a lot of stuff going on, you're educated. Why can't you understand? You know what? I'm in a position, and I've been put in a position to do something positive, but I don't want to listen to the person that's trying to give me knowledge. I feel as though I'm entitled to this. That whole thing just gets under my skin sometimes because the knowledge is there.
Before we go to break, let's hear what you got to say before we go to break.
We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
Go ahead,
but yeah, it just gets to me.
I started out at Morehouse School of Medicine in institutional advancement and marketing and communication, so you understand that is the nucleus for me. That's the nucleus of the institution, because if those things aren't in the cog, that's the cog of the wheel. And so how we market, and then of course alumni affairs falls in that. So I had that whole gambit of what it is that we're supposed to do. Now, you all have touched on so many different things, because I liken this, Mr. Scribe, as you have said, to across the board how politics goes for us. We are playing a game in politics, and we say, well, hell, our white counterparts did that, and so why can't we do it? Why am I going to federal prison about that? That is because this is not our game. Now, as it comes to our higher education institutions, if you have not trained your children at home how to behave to begin with, because home training starts at home. You can't expect for an institution to train your children. Now, I get it about the fundraising, because Dr. Harvey was consummate. He says, so Ronald Reagan came to our campus, and I said, why is he here? Because I worked in his office. I worked for him. I was mad. And he said, I'm going to get my money from whomever is there. And so understanding, we are still very young. Morehouse School of Medicine is still a very young institution. And even as it relates to some of the other institutions that were founded in the 1800s, we were working on a shoestring all the time. And so that there are certain things that we have to catch up with, but then there are certain things that we need to progress in, period, and just put down our sword. Be strong and courageous, but don't have a sword with each other, and learn how other communities operate. Because unlike other communities, we don't send money back and forth to Africa. Nobody sends us, the money from the diamond mines. We don't have, anything like that. We have had to assimilate into another society. So there are things that we must overcome, because we were taught that you've got to get your way out of the crab in the barrel. You got to be at the top of the syndrome so that you can make it. Even like generations before us, the lighter you were, the the better it was for you if you could pass for white. So there are things that we still need to overcome. But in this generation, this is what I'm trying to get to. In this generation, we have to hold each other accountable and we have to do better because we know better. And that's all I have to say.
Listen, guys, we better take a break. All right, when we come back. Look, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something about Christal Cherry. She started all this. Anyway, we will be right back, you guys. You're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. We'll be right back.
You and I have to let the man know is we are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us. We're nonviolent with people who are nonviolent with us. But we are not nonviolent with anyone who is violent with us.
History, life in quarantine, nowhere to hide, it's worldwide. We can agree to disagree, but it don't matter now. This is life. We can chill face to face and debate what is fact and what has been a lie. We can pull every card and go hard with the truth, yet be brutalized. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we want won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is hang on and speak life.
To bring about the complete independence of people of African descent here in the Western Hemisphere, and first here in the United States, and bring about the freedom of these people by any means necessary.
Every way, let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak, don't believe, no, this is your defeat. Don't incriminate your mind. Oh, be free. Let us join hand in hand as we stand and demand our equality. Let them know how you feel, 'cause you wanna walk across the street stress-free. Without that hate, when it's all said and done, what we have and what we want won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is stand strong and speak life. It's your life. Come on. Will you fight? It's time. Yeah.
But when someone attacks you, when someone comes at you with a club, when someone comes at you with a rope, when someone comes at you with a gun, despite the fact that you've done nothing, he tells you, suffer peacefully. Pray for those who use you despitefully. Be long-suffering. And how long can you suffer after suffering for 400 years?
purpose and a destiny for us all. You can be what he puts in your heart. You can do it. Don't give up. No. Is anyone listening to him? Can you hear what God said? Is anyone listening to him? Can you hear what he said? I can. I'll be his light and shine, shine, It's okay, don't have to be afraid. Take a breath and step out on your faith. It's okay, don't have to be afraid. Just relax, let Jesus guide your way. And just shine, 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 oh, shine, 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 TNT, this is Kia Carr, and I have a new album out called Life, Love, and Hope, and you can get it on www.kiacarr.com. That's KIAKERR.com. Again, I just finished Sizzling Sundays, and my name is Kia Carr. New artist out, Life, Love, and Hope, new album, KiaCarr.com, KIAKERR. Thank you so much. God bless.
I knew something was wrong with my body.
My name is Kelly Bryan, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I use the low-carb diet lifestyle to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Unveiled Treasures Bookstore. We offer a variety of items: church supplies, homeschool resources, music, books, and gifts. Our free ministry partners online affiliate program provides a collection of Christian resources. Unveiled Treasures, exquisite jewels to enrich your soul.
Hey, this is Nolan Holloway, aka Mr. Scribe. Just letting you know that I have 3 books of poetry that's available on Amazon.com. So when you get a chance, go to Amazon.com, look up Nolan P. Holloway Jr., not Mr. Scribe, and pick up one of my books for your enjoyment. Peace.
You know, babies and beards is a calling. You don't see too many images of black fatherhood portrayed in media. But I know for a fact on the ground level, it's a lot of brothers who beat all odds and get the job done daily. The job is passing knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to the next generation, despite the role you may
Hey, this is Gina A. Towns on Real Talk that takes you higher. Level up. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Hi, this is George Vincent.
And Rick Irvin.
And we are the Heavenly Deposit Team, and we need you to level up.
Hey, this is your girl, Joanna Hill McGill, Walmart's first Next Gospel Superstar winner. I need you to level up.
This is Terry Cummings. Listen or watch Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Keep it locked right here.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. Welcome back, everyone. And thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, everyone who's watching us on Facebook, head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. There, we want you guys to hit that subscribe button. All right, let's get right back into our conversation, you guys. In the studio by way of Blue Jeans, because we are being COVID compliant, we have Christal Cherry. Christal Cherry in the studio. Audience, okay? And I'm trying to figure out, how did you and Gina not know each other? You got so much in common, girl.
I know. It's amazing, right?
God's timing is always perfect. Always perfect. So excited. Thank you once again, Christal, for taking the time out of your busy schedule. Now, what we want to get right into is this book. Let's talk about this book. Oh my gosh, Collecting Courage. So I just want everyone to know that you have not just the one book, you have several books that you have out right now, right? Correct?
Right. Well, I have one that I'm working on. It's a children's book, but Collecting Courage is my only other book right now.
Okay.
That's been published. I got a couple things in the works, but nothing's published yet.
Girl, look, that's what I'm telling. Look, listen, Level Up Nation. Look, you guys are in for a treat, because once I finally locked down this beautiful lady, and she could spend 3 hours with us right now just to have this candid conversation, I was like, finally, thank you guys. Thank you guys. So listen, let's talk about Collecting Courage. So how did you get into writing a well, first of all, no, I like to ask authors, because August is our authors month, and I love asking authors. Mr. Scribe is an author as well. So is Gina.
I'm not surprised.
My birthday is this month.
See,
and so is mine.
Leo's in the house. Are y'all Leos?
Yes.
Well, there you go. I love Leos.
Yeah.
Look,
mine's coming up August 17th.
Oh, happy birthday.
August 18th.
I'm a Tauronite. Me and Malcolm X have the same birthday, right? And
oh, sweet.
I've either been friends with Leos or, well, as Leos and Aquarians. Oh my God, I can't get rid of them. This is like and what was funny was, because we're very much alike, Leos. But y'all would always say what I didn't want to say to her.
Anyway, well, happy birthday.
Thank you.
So is my mom. She's August 15th. She's probably watching. Hi, Mom. So, but how did you come about? I love asking authors. First of all, I'm amazed at people who write, because I'm not such a great writer. Of course, this one right here, she's like, stop saying that. But I'm amazed at people who write. You guys amaze me at the way that words come onto a page. So how did you get into, first of all, saying, I think I'm going to write a book?
Well, let me tell you, Angie, I was at the right place at the right time. So last year was a crazy year for me, as it was for all of us, right? Last year I had some really wonderful things happen, and then I had some personal tragedy. So in fact, coming up is the 1-year anniversary. I lost my partner and my son's father to COVID last year in August. So the 1-year anniversary of that is coming up. So that was really a tough time for me. And I'm still trying to brace myself for the anniversary that's coming up next week, and trying to make sure that my kid is okay. But that was the personal tragedy. But the good news, sometimes God works in strange ways. Sometimes he'll bring a gift at the same time you're going through some So I guess it was just a reminder that he was continuing to bless me. So in addition to all this personal stuff that I was dealing with, my career took a turn because I was working. Decided to come out of fundraising as the frontline fundraiser, and I was in consulting.
Okay.
And then after a year working for a consulting firm, they came and told me that they were going to make me a 1099 employee, which I decided, well, look at here. If you're going to make me a 1099 employee, I'm going to be a 1099 employee for myself. So I decided to hang out my shingle and become my own firm. In the meantime, while I was doing all of that, there was a group of women who friends here in Atlanta, who I was getting together with, and it was a group of us who were fundraisers, all Black women fundraisers.
Wow.
And we were getting together right before COVID to just kick it and talk about what was going on in our careers, celebrate our wins, hug each other when we had some losses, those kinds of things. And then when COVID happened, we had to start meeting virtually. And the meetings were so good, and everyone was just saying, oh my God, this is so awesome. I'm so glad we have this space, this safe space for us to talk about what's going on in our careers, and we can support one another. And someone had the brilliant idea of saying, well, since we're virtual, why don't we open it up to see if other women might be interested in joining our group? And so we did. We opened it up, put it out there in social media. And so here we are now, almost 2 years later. We have 50 paid members, 50 paid women in 13 states in Canada who are all female fundraisers or who work in the nonprofit space. And so now we have joined a group. We have a network. So us creating this network now put us in the same space with other groups that were forming around this same time last year in COVID. Everybody kind of emerged to the surface around the time when George Floyd died, all the social unrest started happening. All of a sudden, Black fundraisers started coming out and talking about the racism that they were feeling and the being marginalized and overlooked and having been fired and all that stuff. So I ended up in some rooms with some folks who were in similar situations with me, who had some of the same experiences that I had. So I ended up in a room, in a webinar, being on a panel with these African American sisters, women out of Canada, fundraisers, who were talking about all the things that we experienced in the sector. And we had this really great webinar. There was, 500-600 people on listening to us talk, and then all of a sudden we started getting all this attention. People were in my inbox like, we really love what you were saying.
Come on, Christal.
It was just awesome. I just happened to be in the right room at the right time.
Right.
And so after that webinar, we saw the kind of response we got.
Okay.
These sisters in Canada who was already doing some things approached me and said, we're going to write a book, and we'd like you to be an author. Our as Black women, as fundraisers in the nonprofit sector, do you want in? And I said, hell yeah. And so
I love you, Christal. You're
yes. And so they said, I said, well, what are we supposed to write about? And they said, well, we're not giving you no script. You can write about whatever you want to write about.
What?
And so I said, sure. So I just sat down and started writing. And I submitted it, not knowing whether it was what they wanted. As it turns out, there was 13 authors in this book, or 12 women and one man, and everybody's story was different but similar, right? And so we all had experienced some of the same things as fundraisers in this sector. Some people, there's one person who her whole chapter is poetry. So I know Dr. Scribe would be happy to hear that. Whole chapter was poetry. So there was just a whole bunch of different things that people were saying. So the book is that there are 4 themes of the book: joy, pain, freedom, love. And they asked each author to pick a theme and talk about their story through that theme. And so I picked joy. And so that's how it all came about. I just kind of fell up into it. I was invited to be part of this anthology. I jumped on the opportunity to be a part. And the book was published in Canada and did very well. And now we just got a publisher here in the United States to pick it up. So it's about to be published here this fall.
Yes,
which I'm very excited about. But since the book has been published almost a year ago now, we have been on lots of talk shows, lots of webinars, podcasts, interviews, and all, and have gotten just lots of kudos for having the courage to share our stories. And so it was just the right place at the right time. And God blessed me with this group, this wonderful group of women who are like-minded, who care about justice, who care about supporting women, and here we are today. So that was the gift for me last year with some of the personal challenges that I experienced. God also gifted me with this book and with the folks
Show
that
the
are
book.
now in my.
Show the book, girl. Show the book.
This is my book. Our book is called Collecting Courage. The editors of the book are Nika Allen, Camilla Herrera, and Nicole Salmon. And like I mentioned, these three sisters are out of Canada. Our website is collectingcourage.org.
Okay.
And so you can go to our website and see all about the authors, including yours truly, and learn more about the book. You can buy the book. It's $29.99. There are videos on there. Each one of us submitted some videos, some personal videos about ourselves. So if you want to get a little bit more flavor about my personality, then you can watch some of my videos on there. So it's just been an awesome experience. And so I can't say enough about it. But like I said, during some of those dark hours I had last year, I was able to think about this and some of the other good things that happened and say, okay, God, I see you. You've not left me. You know, even with the other things that are going on, you're blessing me in some other areas of my life, and I accept it, and I'm grateful. And I just know that this is yet another testimony. You know,
girl, you're getting a bunch of hearts right now. You're getting a bunch of hearts right now. And let me see if I have somebody. Wow, Mary Gooseby once again. Thank you, Mary. Sister Power, and she's also seeing how working together gets us higher. Girl, you said a word. Come on, Mary. Working together gets us higher. And I don't know.
And I'm challenging the men because you women have come together during COVID, joined, and this is a testament to what support of being around each other. And with the sisters are doing it.
Yes,
well, let me tell you, the name of our group, the group that I was telling you that we formed is Fabulous Female Fundraisers. And our website is fabfemalefundraisers.com. So you can head over to our website to check us out. And so we're a group of 50 women. We all pay memberships now. And we have all kinds of perks and benefits to being members. We have we match you with a mentor. We match you with a career coach. We have a consultant lounge because there's about 15 of us in the group who are consultants. And so we get together once a quarter to learn about what one another are doing and giving each other advice and how you do your invoicing. What do you do with this client? And we did a giving circle last year. We created our own giving circle where we chose a nonprofit, and together we made one big collective gift to this nonprofit. So I think it's up to about $1,500 now. So we are just doing amazing things. It's just it's a network, social group, support group for Black women in the nonprofit sector, and it's just wonderful. We celebrate each other's birthdays. We give each other high fives on. Some of us have published. We support each other's work. We promote each other on social. So it's just been a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Somebody has a question for you, and I've been like,
she's making me ask the question.
Yes, I am.
The first person, well, it's not the first person, but Sally Davis was the first person. She brought me to Morehouse.
Yes, I know that.
You know Sally?
Will ever be grateful for her because I was at a time in my life that was very difficult, and I had 3 children. And Sally pushed over all of the food and stuff, and she says, so tell me. And so I told her, and so I ended up there. But then the next person after that, though we went through some challenges, because sometimes we are going to go through challenges with each other, and that's a growth opportunity, obstacles, and instead of letting things become a distraction to us or an inhibitor us, we have to allow them to let us grow and grow with one another, because the next person, though I had some issue with, was Kelly Brown Morris.
You know Kelly?
And she's just phenomenal. She was went to Grady, and raising money it's not easy. Black fundraisers do not have an easy time of it. The system itself is not set up for us to raise money for our causes, but we still have to operate within that system. And so I applaud you. I think you're incredible.
Thank you. Well, I just want to give props to some of my sisters. I got to call out a couple names. I got to call out Keisa Foster, who is a VP over at Clark Atlanta University. Sam Burston, who is a VP over at Clark Atlanta University. Sandra Yates, who is an executive director over at Morehouse College. Birgit Burton, who's the executive director of Foundation Relations at Georgia Tech. Like, these are the women who are in my network now. And I tell you, whenever I have any issues or challenges, I can call any of these sisters. And whether it's personal, when I lost my boo last year, they all were here for me. Or whether it's professional and I have some career advice I need, or I just need to sound off at someone, get some have the ear of all these amazing women. And so I just implore women that you need to find your tribe. You need to get a group, whatever your career is, you need to get a group of women who can support you through all of the challenges, because every career has its own issues, right? So fundraising is no different. But find your tribe and get some ears so that when you need to sound off, when you need to get counsel, when you need to just celebrate, when you need to cry, you have some folks who you can contact. Even though we're professional colleagues, we have now, some of us have become friends, right? And so we've seen each other through divorces. We've seen each other through COVID. Some of us have had babies. I adopted a baby. So this is our lives that these women have walked this journey with me. And so, yeah, so it's been a blessing.
Wow.
So Collecting Courage is an anthology of these short stories of these fundraisers. Like I mentioned, half of them are in Canada and half of them are here in the United States. And I was blessed to be invited to be a part of the project. And so I can't just overstate how grateful I am that I was invited. So if you want, I can read a little bit from my chapter is only a few pages, maybe 8-10 pages, but I can read a couple blurbs if you like. You want to do that after break or before break? I can't hear you.
Gina had one other thing, but yeah, when we come back from our break, I want you to read an expert on the. Yeah, I see you, Mr. Scribe. Go ahead, Gina.
So I just want, because I know Nolan is here, and I love Nolan with all my heart because he is so conscious. And one thing that happened in corporate America with us is that they divided black men and black women. Ooh. And we can't miss that point, because what has to happen is inside of not only fundraising, but we can't have boys clubs or girls clubs. We have to be able to work together because we're all at the same goal. But, you know, the hidden mysticism behind dividing us has been incredible. But I just want to make sure that I gave Nolan that shout out because, brother, I hear you over there because we want to run with the brothers too. I'm a Deborah kind of girl myself.
Well, let me just tell you that one of my colleagues has now started a group called Black Men in Fundraising. And so we do now have a counter. We do now have a counter group for our brothers who are doing this work to make sure that they have a support system. So it happened. It just took a minute. But the sisters came out first, and then we decided to work together for the brothers because they need our support too.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Deborah, now.
So listen, you guys, we got to go ahead and take our break. But when we come back from our break, we're going to have Christal, read a couple of excerpts in this book. You don't want to miss it. No. Not only that, you don't want your family and friends to miss it. So please hit that share button. Please hit you guys. We're going to give you guys a break to do that. Give you about 10 minutes. Go ahead and get your snack. Come on back. Hit that share button, you guys. You don't want your family and friends to miss our next segment. You're listening and watching Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. We'll be right back.
You wanna know if I still love you? Will I do what I used to do? I know sometimes I can step off track, but with open arms you call me back. Yes, yes, I love you. I say yes.
that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. My G coming through the crowd raw, big dog. You don't really wanna feel these claws. See, God loves me anyway, despite these flaws. So I gotta get a little buck wild, yeehaw. My God giving y'all the blessings, so I never tap out. No time for stressing. I'm confessing that I'm still learning lessons. When I get knocked down, get up stepping, cause I know how my blessings flow. Started from the ground down to the tiptoe. Holy Spirit, you don't wanna miss this flow, cause I'm talking about you and the whole trio. The Father's on top and they call me mijo. For my Latino, just Jesus Cristo. My God's bilingual, so if you didn't know, I'ma speak English, me amigo. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy. Make sure you keep...
Who you think you are? Cogene Knight, cause you know you're dismissed. I got a lot of enemies that draining my energy, but telling my energy is inside of my energy. If I'm at a dead end, I'm counting on real friends, the type that will help you and open the Red Sea. Never make a promise that you can't keep. Nobody really likes to bluff, that's a way so deep. If you're gonna repent, then I suggest another keeping. If that energy drained, then throw away the whole thing. Sometimes you gotta cut the cord to keep moving forward, to be a value.
Keep that same energy. I'm living for God for real. I go fishing for real. I'm like a Navy SEAL. That Pelican Bill. I'm just a kid full of Skittles. No riddle, it's simple. I love them with all of my energy. I get empty. In the forefront, I'm up on my tips. I think I saw Jesus in my dreams. Oh, you don't believe? Oh, that's sweet. Honey, please. I get hyped through the night. Oh, my energy gon' spike. Oh, I think I see the light. Make sure you keep that same energy. Energy, energy, energy.
Hello, my name is Rodney Damon Collins. I'm an actor, producer, author, and speaker. I'm excited to share my first book entitled Shatter, A Journey Through the Pieces. I wrote this book because there are millions of people like me in this world who are searching for purpose while navigating emotional distress. This book is for anyone who wants to be the producer of their own life. The reader will be encouraged to know that if they, 1, keep God first, 2, learn how to make peace with the pieces in our lives, and finally, 3, never deter from your dreams, that you will see your purpose fulfilled. I love you, and go grab this book on Amazon.com, Shatter, the Journey Through the Pieces.
Have you been sluggish, bloated, overweight? You could be toxic from your environment, food, and medications. It's time for a clean start. Come by or book online today.
Someone Cares of Atlanta is a nonprofit 501c3 community-based organization providing holistic health and wellness with locations in Marietta and Metro Atlanta. Our qualified behavioral health professionals provide extensive counseling and treatment in substance abuse, mental health, and opioid addiction. Someone Cares offers a variety of services, and our professionals are waiting to serve you. We are not just an agency, we are a friend.
Rain Premium Sanitary Napkin.
Rain has an innovative design that is made with a strip infused with Nobel Prize-winning material graphene. The infused graphene strip may provide various health benefits that potentially help relieve painful abdominal cramps, help balance the body's pH, help eliminate harmful bacteria, help with aroma, help fight fatigue, boost metabolism, boost immune system. Graphene moves heat away from your core and contains vibrational energy. In this test, we will add water to the graphene strip and then place a 7-watt light bulb onto the strip to demonstrate the level of energy contained. These medical claims have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. All results may vary. Protect the most precious jewel in the world, you. For more information, contact the person who referred you to this video. Rain is exclusively designed by Jewel Sanitary Napkins, LLC.
It's been long enough that you've been walking around in the wilderness, trying to figure out, who am I? Why am I here? What gifts do I have to make a difference? Well, it's time to warm it up. Discover your true identity. Unleash your gifts and impact the world to become a more bolder, braver, and courageous you. Join me, Kathy Hood, at a life-changing workshop, Woman Up, the journey of owning your power and unleashing your true self.
Gonna speak life in every way, Let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak.
What's up? It's your boy Fred Jones. Let's level up on Sundays 3 to 6 p.m. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
Yo, level up, real talk that takes you higher with your boy Mike Jeezy. Tune in Sundays from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's Dr. Robert Frazier, CEO of Silk Educational Consulting, and it's time to level up every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Real talk that takes you higher.
Hey, this is Miguel Nunnery of Babies and Beards. Keep it locked right here as we level up, giving a voice to the unvoiced, where real talk that takes you higher. Ordinary people with extraordinary stories.
And welcome back to Level Up, Real Talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. Welcome back, everyone, and thank you guys for hanging out with us this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hey, if you are watching us on Facebook, I would like for you guys to head on over to The Real Level Up. That's The Real Level Up on YouTube. There, please hit that subscribe button. Not only that, please share. So, Mr. Scribe, let me let you know who's watching us on Facebook right now. Valerica. Hey, Valerica, we see you are watching us on YouTube. So let me tell you guys one other thing that I've noticed what the YouTubers are doing. Because my mom is doing it. Hi, Mom, I see that you're watching. They will put us, Mr. Scribe, on their big screen. They're watching us like they're like.
That's why we got to be on point, because when they blow that picture up, all the stuff come out. So you better look correct.
If your makeup is right like Gina's, if your makeup...
I'm not going to touch that one. I'm not going to go. I'm not touching that one.
This chick right here, boy, makeup be on point, Christal. I'll be like, I got to rate...
What was the last song we heard? Say yes. Say yes.
Her. In case y'all didn't notice, yes is her. That's the artist right there. There she
Say
goes.
yes. Say yes.
Whatever it can do, we try to make it
Especially that part where the brother coming to the gate and Gina put her hand out to get to step, and I was like, what?
Wait, Mr. Scribe, we're still dancing to the song, right? That song made it to 26 on the UAC chart. And listen, you guys, we were the like seriously, we're like a independent. When I talk about independent artists, there she go. Look how she looking. Look, Crystal, she don't want anybody to know. Like, you ain't got to talk about all that.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the video.
Thank you, Chris.
It was great.
So we enjoyed you, and so we want to hear about collecting courage.
Let's get right into the book. She right. Let's get right into the book, you guys. So before we went to break, now Christal said she wants to talk about collecting courage. She's actually going to read an excerpt. So I don't want be quiet, Mrs. Scribe, because I'm about to go to mute. Gina and I are going to mute out. Miss Christal Cherry, you have.
So first I wanted to set it up, and I just want to remind you that there were 4 themes to the book. There was joy, pain, freedom, and love. And I chose joy because I decided to, I had been in pain for so long about so many things that I was experiencing in my career. But I wanted to twist it and write about how I had come full circle. And so the title of my chapter is The Epiphany of a Joyful Fundraiser. I had come through all of that on the other side and managed to still have joy. And so that's kind of where I came from when I decided to write. So I'm just going to share a couple of quick excerpts that won't be long. So my chapter opens up with like this. Something is wrong. It's probably you. A friend told me this by phone while I was driving in my car on the way home. I had just told her that I had been let go as the Chief Development Officer again. I was quiet. Are you there? She asked. Yeah, I gotta go, I said. Talk to you later. She meant well, but her words hurt. I came home and went straight to the bathroom. I thought I would vomit, but instead I looked in the mirror. I cannot believe that this has happened to me again. It must be me. I am not fit for this work. My thoughts were racing. What else can I do? Become a teacher? Become a counselor? A crossing guard? I laughed. Even still, you are still trying to help people. I ran into a Points of Pride box. Everybody needs a Points of Pride box, right? Where I kept all of my awards. Outstanding leadership from the United Negro College Fund, a certificate of appreciation from the American Society of Public Administrators, a certificate of completion from the Atlanta United Way VIP program. I read multiple notes that I had kept from donors and alumni and college presidents and volunteers thanking me for caring about their passions and their interests. I looked at the evaluations from some courses I taught, reminding me that I had done well. The box was full of accolades, and I needed those affirmations. Mild relief wafted over me. I had made an impact, but now what? I could not think. I prayed and I fell asleep. Something was wrong, and it was me. Things would need to change. I knew I could not continue. I could not return to the back seat. I knew how to drive. I needed to grab some courage and move to the next level. I decided to take a leap of faith and stepped into the driver's seat, headed straight to the top, to the board of directors of nonprofits when I opened my own firm called The Board Pro. So after 22 years in this nonprofit space, the light has come on. I find joy in this work. Something is very right, and for sure it is me. So I had to come through, and I picked a couple of excerpts. You have to read through it to really kind of understand how I came to that. But there was just some times where, I don't know if anybody else has ever been let go from a job or fired from a job. It sucks. It feels horrible. And it happened to me more than once. And after a while, you start looking at yourself in the mirror going, wait a minute, hold on. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not fit. Maybe something I'm doing is wrong. And it wasn't until I started talking to some of these other fundraisers from not only in the United States, but also in Canada, who start saying, wait a minute, I was overlooked too. I was marginalized too. I was dismissed too. They had unrealistic expectations too. And that's when I started realizing, wait a minute, so I'm not crazy. It's not that I don't do good work. It's not that I don't know what to do. Perhaps some of the folks who are in the top leadership positions are not sure how to make this thing work. And so it kind of just gave me some relief to realize I had made an impact. And that's why I tell everyone it's so important to have a Points of Pride box. Like, pull out those awards, pull out those certificates, those thank you notes that you receive from friends or donors or customers who remind you what good work that you have done over your career. Because if not, they will kick you in the shins and keep moving. And so I had to come full circle and realize that I was enough. I was clear about who I was and what I could contribute and what my worth was. And I was not going to tolerate anything else. And so I decided to go ahead and leap out on faith and open my own firm and do this thing on my own. And that's kind of how I got to where I am. So, but it was with a lot of years of pain and self-doubt and fear and uncertainty and praying and journaling and crying that I was like, oh God, maybe I'm not in the right career. But I realize now that all of that was for a testimony. That I can write this story and that I can share my testimony with other folks who might be feeling whatever they're doing in their career. They might be feeling some kind of way insecure or feeling some self-doubt. It's not you, sweetie. You just got to find your gift. You got to find out how to monetize it and work with the people who really appreciate you for what you bring to the table. And that's really what the whole message of my book and my chapter is about. So collect your courage.
Can I add? Oh, okay. Wait. Hold on. I want to add something else to that, Christal. Oh my gosh! Now I know the reason why God was like, when I tell you, Christal, God was like, Christal. I'm like, God, I don't know Christal. Christal don't know me. I mean, wow. This one right here. I cannot believe you are saying what you are saying, because I promise you, all week long, her and I have been having the same conversation. This is my support system right here, and vice versa, here.
Yes.
I mean, when I say that her and I finally said it on one of our shows. I said, this one right here is the wing beneath my wings. But she will say the same thing. So you do need someone who knows you, understands you, gets your vision, and will kick your tail if you are saying, I'm not worth it. I don't know how many times she had been like, what the hell?
Yes. Yes.
Heck. I said heck. She said
real higher. Because Christal.
Mr. Holloway.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Can't hear you.
You got one demerit. Christal got two demerits. Said hell, and she said hell and something else. I'm keeping down.
Quiet, Mr. But see,
hell is in the Bible.
This
no.
one.
Not that I said he counted. But I'm just keeping them.
I'm talking about this one right here. This one right here. Christal, when I wanted to like give up on this show, she was like, "No, you're not." Because here's the thing, Christal. What I have understand at this point of being 50. This one right here is like, wait till you turn 50. Because what I do understand, and I heard it over and over again, and I'm hoping that the people that are watching now and will watch later, because there's a lot of people that watch this show like later on. So if you're watching this in recording, I'm saying this to you guys as well, that if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, that God has laid on your heart, and I'm telling you, Christal, this has been something that her and I have been talking about, like doing this show in 2005. And we were like, nah, that's not going to happen. Girl, that's so far-fetched. Guess what God did?
Yes.
Christal, time after time. I mean, there were things that were lining up. And I was like, Gina, girl, we could do this. Girl, we could really do this. And so many times, Christal, people have been like saying, Angie, thank you for saying yes to God. Because I wouldn't have thought about doing this, or I wouldn't have thought about. There's been, Mr. Scribe, you can attest to this. There's been so many people that have been on the show, Christal, that was like, because of the show, I started thinking about, I started launching, I started doing this. I had a belief that I can do it, and I'm hoping and praying, Christal, even with this show, if there's anyone that's watching this show right now, you can do it. Christal has said it. Find your support system. Find your belief system. Find the people that believe even far beyond your vision. Mr. Scribe is one of the people that have done it. She has done it in the background. She's finally here. I'm like, are you gonna be on camera?
Yes. But you know what? It starts with a belief in self. You know, you really have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, wait a minute, I know that I'm gifted. I know that I'm talented. I know that I bring something to the table. And I'm not going to let anybody take that away from me. And so you got to get clear. And so that's what I had to do. I had to get clear about who I was and what I could contribute. And then once I got clear, then there was no stopping me. Even when I was, decided I was going to hang out my shingle and start my own business, because that's scary. You got to buy your own health insurance. I got a kid, all those things. My boo just passed away. Like, I had a lot going on. And I just decided, you know what? You a bold bee. I wasn't going to say the word because I don't want Mr. Scribe to get me. But
no more demerits.
You a bold bee, and you gonna make this thing happen. So I just decided I was just gonna push through the fear and do it anyway. And I just decided, guess what? You done been through so much. You done fallen on your behind so many times, and God had you every single time. And so if you try this and it doesn't work, okay, then we're going to do something else. But we're going to give this a try. We're going to trust God. We're going to follow his direction, and we're going to make this thing do what it do. And I swear I had to just lean on faith because I wasn't sure what the heck I was doing. And this year has been a great year for me in terms of my career. Because of me, though, because of that, I decided that I was going to trust God and I was going to trust me, and I wasn't going to let anyone make me feel less than. And I think you just have to get there in your own head. It took me all this time. I'm going to be 57 years old in a couple weeks. It took me all of this time, but I'm here. And so we can go do the daggone thing.
Yeah, but Christal, here's the thing. I'll be 63. I didn't start writing poetry until 51. And people have been telling me over the course of a few years, no, you have a radio voice, This one, not the one sitting to the right, sitting to the left. Well, no, you walked up to me in church one Sunday and said, Nolan, I've been thinking about a male co-host for my show. What do you think about doing it? I'm in. She interviewed me. Before she asked me that, I was a guest on Level. It wasn't Level Up at the time. She had a different name. So I was a guest on her show, ended up being a co-host, and then Amazing Grace, who's on vacation, was saying, you really need to get your voiceover career started. So just like, hey, boy, the microphone wasn't the right one. Gave that one away. We bought another one. Setting up my studio, looking to get my booth built. I've already been paid on a number of different projects, and I just won this past Thursday a one-on-one with a gentleman by the name of Dave Fenoy, who is a beast of voiceover. He's done video game, commercials, promos, the late night records that people buy, those R&B records. Yeah. He's the voice that talks about. So I have a one-on-one with him. So God is doing things behind the scene. So as far as your journey, like you stepped out on faith, that's the same thing that I did. So who knows where you might be hearing my voice over the next few months or years.
I'll be looking for it.
It's all energy. I gotta give it up. Give it up to God with the situation. And even Gina had a role in it as well, because her and Angie had connected. And when I first met Gina, I was like, wow, she's something else. And she can DJ.
And I thought the same thing about you and still do. But let me just say, what's incredible about what both of you said, and I thank you for it. You'll get people that you can have relationships with, and you will get people who will support what you're doing. But what both of you described, Mr. Scribe, was the fact that you made a decision.
Yes.
You stepped out on faith. And when people see you step out on your own faith, because people can't follow something they can't see. They have to see you moving. They can't get on a train that's not moving. I heard a message by T.D. Jakes not that long ago, and he says, you can't be behind a parked car. Ooh. I was like, what? Oops. So, you decided that you were going to put your car in drive and pull out the parking space and put it in motion. So I applaud both of you. I mean, what you have described is excellent. And that's a point that, we need to have people take with them, is that it's your decision that God will support. And even if you're not a believer, it's still your decision that people can see and grasp on and hold to and support. People can't support something that is not moving.
Yes. Yes. So I just implore people to collect their own courage and do what they have to do to find their peace and their happiness in their career and in their personal life. Because it's not going to just happen automatically. You got to make it happen, but you got to trust God.
And you got to have courage, because there's going to be people that's going to try to discourage you from doing it. But if you can see it, a lot of people are not going to be able to join you sometimes. Some people are going to fall off by the wayside. Some people, yeah, I got you. Christal, I got you. And as soon as something come up, they fall off or they surprise you. So nothing surprises me. I just continue to move forward. That's the way to go.
And expect some haters along the way, too. Expect some haters. Some folks may not be so happy about your success.
Oh, wait. Oh, there she go.
Okay, look. I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something. Some of them haters, though, some of them haters will be right in your own family.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Man. I remember I had, okay, Mr. Scribe, we're going to forego that 440. I got Christal, okay? So we got to forego the 440. You know what I mean? Okay, so anyway, got to have a little bit more time with Christal before we let her go. I told you, Christal, girl, we about to run out of time. We got 20 minutes with you. So let me talk about this. We told her, didn't we, Mr.
we told her, what am I going to talk about for 3 hours? I don't know. I'm a boring person. I ain't got nothing to say. We heard all of that nonsense.
We are going to forego, somebody that's paying the bills. Well, look, I got 20 more minutes with her. Mrs. Scribe, forego that so I can say this to you. Okay, to add to this conversation. I know that there are a number of people that just does not understand your journey. Me and my business partner here, I say this to her all the time. Everybody that come with you can't go with you. Can't go with you.
Yep.
So I want Level Up Nation to understand this. And I hope and I pray, please share. If nothing else, I got to find ways that I can take snippets out of what we talk about on this show. And I'm going to find a way, Mr. Scribe, because there's a lot of times that we have some really important information that needs to get out to the people. And God, please show me how that works. But this point right here, for the last 20 minutes, this is what I want to talk about. And Christal, I want to get your insight on this. That when we say that everybody that come with you can't go with you. And it's a hard thing because what I know that I'm working on, Christal, is that people pleasing. This one right here, woo, Angie, please work on your people pleasing, because if you don't, keep looking at me, y'all. If you don't, then how can God bless you? Because not everybody can be on that train with you when you're leveling up. Mm-hmm. And so often people will be stifled in their purpose in life because they got that extra weighted baggage of people, that, especially the ones that keep telling you, well, why are you doing that? Mm-hmm. Well, why are you making that move? Mm-hmm. Have you thought about that Chicago is, yes, I said it, that Chicago is dangerous. Yes, I have thought about that. But what I do know, when God says move, he wants you to move. Yeah. And a lot of times, Christal, you don't understand why God is saying what he's saying, but I do know when God says make the move, make the move. Right. And there has been clear, conscious dialogue between myself and my creator. And that's where people have to put that. That's where you have to put that, leave it right there. Because when you know that your creator clearly said something to you, and you don't make that move, what happens? Mm-hmm. God can overlook you and choose somebody else. Right. I do know, Christal, what has been happening to me over these years. I'll speak for myself. I do have a partner. She'll speak for herself. But there are certain times that you have to be in position where you need to be positioned so that whatever God is asking you to do is at another level. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't get what your next level is. If they don't understand your next level, sometimes people don't know and understand that. You got to let them go. Right. You got to let them go. You can still be friends. You can still be sisters. You can still be brothers. You can still be church members. You can. I'm calling it out. You can still be, employees and people that you go to work with. A lot of times they don't understand. Sometimes you just got to let them go. And sometimes, another friend said this to me, sometimes, Angie, you got to build that garden in the back, and it's just you and God building that garden. And once that garden blooms, it takes a life of its own. Then that's when you can present it to everybody, because you have had time with you and God to help that thing grow. Right. And you can't tell everybody. This one right here, whoop, have been like, Angie, you can't tell everybody what you're doing because they don't understand. Right. As long as God is saying yes, keep going.
Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here you go.
She
saying the same thing. I was saying the same thing.
Stop talking off camera, G. So I say all that to say, Christal, I want you to have the last word before we go. Girl, you know you're going to have to come back to this.
Yeah, I didn't even tell you my whole adoption story, how that came about, and how I had
as an adoption.
You got to come back.
How I trusted God on that, because that was a whole nother thing. But yeah, no, God has shown up in my life so many times to just show me who He is, and I believe Him. So I just keep following Him. And but no, absolutely, you got to bless and release people. And sometimes it's hard to do that because they're people you care about, but you realize that they may not have, and it's not even intentional. It might even be because the relationship that you have with that person, it's based on where you were, right? And so when you start moving and evolving, right, you change, but that person hasn't changed, right? So they are upset because the relationship as it was has now changed. Your dynamic is different. And so they're comfortable in the way it was with you. And now that you're moving over and moving forward, they're kind of like, wait, hold up, that's not how it's supposed to go, because this is what we've been doing. And you're like, well, I'm not doing that anymore. And they don't know how to handle that. And so you might have to just say, listen, sweetie, or honey, or boo, or whatever it is, we just going to have to bless and release each other. And it's, I love you, and I pray for you, and I want the best for you. But right now, it's not good for us to be together, right? I got to do this. You got to do that. So let's go our separate ways. And, and cry about it, but keep it moving.
She left. Go ahead, Mrs. Scribe. Mrs. Scribe has
She's
something.
absolutely correct. And that not nobody's saying it's easy because, like you say, you have relationships with people, and in your mind, you want them to come along with you on the journey. But sometimes, like Christal said, it's not for them to come with you. So as painful as it is, you gotta move. You gotta move forward. You gotta be obedient. And that's and the other thing that Gina said, which I see it on Facebook and social media all the time. You can't tell everybody the moves you make.
Yes.
At times, something between you and God just gives you a direction to go in. He said it's because He understands that there's people that's not going to understand, that want to undermine and put doubt in your mind and circumvent or sabotage sometimes what you're trying to do. So sometimes you just have to listen to Him, and He will show you or tell you, okay, now it's okay to share what you're doing with people. Because sometimes it may take maybe a few months or years sometimes. Okay, now you can share the information. And as you're going through the process, people get mad with you. People have left you. People have done things to you to try to, but they just, like we've talked about, only you can see it. They couldn't, or they can't see it. And for some people, you got to accept they may never see it.
Right. But something happens to you once you make the decision that you're clear and that you're going to move forward. It's you who might be changing, and the person can't handle that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. No, you're absolutely right. It's just like with couples. You two couples get together, it's passionate, they into each other, and all of a sudden life changes, and the one person goes in one direction, the other person goes in another, and the next thing you know, when they come back together, I'm not the same person that I was, and that time, it's a season.
Yep.
Seasons change. We move from summer to the fall. The weather's not the same. The leaves turn brown, and wintertime the leaves fall off. It's almost the same type of situation.
Yes. So I would love to do, before I go, I would love to do a shameless plug for my business. So if you are working for a nonprofit or know of a nonprofit that's in need of support with your board, your nonprofit, please look into my website. It is theboardpro.com, and I am a consultant that will come in and work with you and your nonprofit to help your board fundraise, to help your board deal with conflict resolution, to help your board find the right board members, to help your board to start implementing some DEI practices and policies into their work, so that this unconscious bias everyone's talking about, this white privilege that everyone's talking about, can be exposed. So if those are the kinds of things that you need for your nonprofit, please consider me, look me up, and visit my website.
Do that, folks. Mr. Scribe is saying, if you need help with your nonprofit, profit and stuff, check my sister out. I'm gonna come see you. We gonna have a conversation.
Well, listen, guys, we got another couple of minutes, but Christal, please, once again, please tell them exactly where they can find you, all the stuff.
Yes. So again, the book is Collecting Courage. Go to collectingcourage.org to learn about the book and some of the authors in the book and how you can actually purchase the book. And again, my website for my firm is the Board Pro. Theboardpro.com is my website. If you want to email me, my email is hello@theboardpro.com. And you can also look me up on LinkedIn at Christal M. Cherry. I'm happy to connect and expand my network. So I am so grateful for this opportunity to be with you finally, Angie. This has been awesome. Your crew, Mr. Scribe, and your girl are a mess.
Let me just say again, I just keep going back to this particular segment. On yesterday, we had Christal on, getting everything together and getting everything together today. What am I going to talk about for 3 hours? I'm a boring person. I don't have nothing to say. How am I going to do this? And we told, both Angie and I told, we said, Christal, before you know it, we're going to run out of time, and we got 10 minutes. So in other words, moving forward, Christal, listen to Angie and listen to Mr. Scribe.
Y'all were right. You all were right. Well, I am so grateful for the opportunity, Gina. It was so good to meet you, and I'm so glad you came on today. Since you don't normally come on, I guess this is a special thing that you were here.
It is.
Yes.
And
we have so much in common.
We don't never see Gina. We don't never see Gina.
As our elders would say, nanny.
Every now and then. For
real. See how God works, though. But you see how God works. We had a host for the show. Unfortunately, she couldn't be on. Gina comes on, and the first thing I see Gina, Angie's talking to me to set up the show, and Gina just walks by, photobombing folks. But you and Gina got so much in common, similar business, similar education stuff. Y'all need to connect.
Yes, we do.
And also, I just outfit is when I saw her little outfit today. Hold on, with the puka shells and everything. I said, "Boo, let me go and find something that matches. I'm gonna get used to the same color vibe. Can I not?"
Wow,
I want that necklace. I want that necklace, Angie.
We bought the purple too with the crimson. Oh, hey, Christal. And
so y'all out of my wheelhouse right now.
Mr. Scribe, you brought all the golden. You brought the gold down, okay? You understand? Because the gold it shines down on you.
What I tell people all the time, they want to talk about this right here. I said, God bless me with a nice ride, and I said the dome radiates knowledge, and I don't let people touch it because if people touch it, they overwhelmed with it, fall out.
Not overwhelmed with the knowledge.
It's like angel dust. Prescription.
Right now, I have to write out. Yeah, I got a prescription pad, man. I have to touch the dome, and I can't be responsible. What happens after that?
That's right.
You get you fuck the knowledge. You walk around.
And today you shined it on Miss Cherry and on us. So there you
go.
Here's
your Miss Cherry, you brought it. And the thing about it is, and I love seeing that when folks, I'm not sure what's going to happen, and then here we are in the moment, and everything worked out so beautifully.
Yes.
That's level up. That's God. That's God. That's God.
Yes.
God.
I applaud you, Angie, for sticking in there doing the work that you're doing, because obviously it's good work and you're changing lives, and that's what this is all about. So God bless you.
Well, thank you, Christal. I mean, it's been a labor of love, and once that person told me that, Angie, doing what you're doing, somebody is waiting for you to, continue to do the work that you do so that, that they can continue to do the work that God has placed on their heart. So, thank you for, coming on, because, Christal, they're tired of hearing our stories, but I love because this is the way that you and I had met, and I many things to come. I can't wait to meet you face to face.
Yes,
Gina and I, because she's like, girl, we got you done met somebody that's kindred's heart. So
yes.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
So this is not your last time coming on the show. As we said, Mr. Scribe, what do we say? Your family.
You family.
Yes. Well, I'm writing a children's book that should be out this fall. So when I publish, I'll come back.
Come back.
And here's the thing, too. Another shameless part. This is my second one for you, Christal. You coming out with your children's book. Excellent. Let me know. Connect, because I can push it out to the people that follow, since I'm author as well. And if you want to do an audio book.
Oh, yay.
There's audio.
If you want to do an audio, have someone narrate the book. We can discuss that.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll definitely keep.
Thank you.
Well, listen, guys, that's the end of our show. Thank you guys for tuning in. I just want to thank once again our diamonds, which is Mary Goolsby and Doris Walker. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, my sister Erica Mahan has tuned in. Anybody else that has tuned in, if I don't see you, if you don't say hello, I don't see you. So I know that there's more people that are watching. A lot of people just want to kind of stay in the background, Christal, and just say, hey, I got you on television. I'm trying to watch you as television. I'm not trying to get in y'all's conversation, but that's okay. So I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. And also for those of you guys who will be tuning in later on our recorded show. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Pacific for another live show next week on The Real Level Up. Yes, Mr. Scribe, I see your hand.
No, I just wanted to validate. We got validation today from Christal, which is great. I think I'm off next Sunday, right?
Is it next Sunday?
I think it's next Sunday. I'm off.
We're not off next Sunday. The boss said no.
No, not next Sunday.
No, we have Latasha Holden. Christal, tune in. Latasha Holden will be our guest next Sunday.
Oh, okay. I got my dates mixed up. My bad. I got my dates mixed up. But hopefully, I know that Miss Cherry and I will be linking up at some point in the future. So I'm cool with that. I realized I had two boys. I thought I only had one, but now I got two.
Yeah.
So they told me I miss next Sunday.
I'm like, who was the dude over there with Rocky?
And Miss Cherry, what they don't know is don't let me go New York on them. And you know what I'm talking.
That's right. We know how to go New York and Chi-Town, don't we?
That's right, Chi-Town. Yeah, Chi-Town can hang you, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, I come to Chicago, I'm gonna look y'all up. I can't wait to meet you.
It's GI to the shiz. Wow, that's a whole different flavor too.
Oh, I can imagine.
Okay, I'm not
on. So anyway, listen, Mr. Scribe, play that last break, would you please? So you guys, we will see you guys.
6 o'clock.
Okay, we'll see you guys next week. Right here, same bat channel, The Real Level Up. You're listening and watching Level Up, real talk that takes you higher. I am your host, Angie from the B. We'll see you next week. Love you, mean it. Take care.
Bye, Christal.
Hey there, girl. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you have a beautiful smile. Can we chat for a second? What's your name? What's your son? What you doing later on? It's okay if you're shy. Am I coming on a little too strong? All my friends call me Al and I like to have fun. Yes, I do. But I'm all grown up and we can have a deep conversation. You wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? Want me to take you on a date? Oh girl, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, oh yeah, it's like you're having a debate. It's like you really wanna stay, but you think you should be leaving. So I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Maybe you should hang with me, girl. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. I'm a chill kind of guy. We ain't gotta have a drink. No. See, I was born with this smile, and I don't mind saying what I think. I believe in respect. Yes, I do. I won't be leaving the check. Not with you. See, I don't mind where we're down if I get a little time in exchange. But you wanna hesitate? Oh yeah. Is it getting kinda late? For me to take you on a date? Oh girl, it's only 5 o'clock in the evening. The look on your face, it's like you're having a debate. You really wanna stay? Please stay. But you're thinking you should be leaving. So I ask, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Maybe you should hang with me. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Maybe you should hang with me, girl. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Don't let this moment pass us by. 'Cause we may never meet this again. Don't waste this moment asking why. Maybe you should give us a try tonight. Where you gotta go? Girl, where you gotta go? What you need to know? Girl, come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me. You should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Please don't tell me no. Please don't tell me no. Say all you gotta do is come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while. Tell me where you gotta go. Where you gotta go? What you need to know? I'm thinking maybe you should hang. I'm thinking maybe you should hang with me for a while. Where you gotta go? Oh, come on. Please don't tell me no. Oh, come on. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang. Maybe you should hang with me for a while.
Yeah, Mike Jeezy. This one's for you, Father. Cause despite the women, money, cars, and clothes, at the end of the day, I choose you. Yeah, that's right. I put that on my mama's. Yeah, that's right. Say, I choose you. Come on. Say, I choose. Go ahead, give us one right there. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, Mike Jeezy on the scenery. Beating my speakers, they yelling now, why you mistreating me? I'm never leaving D. I'm never leaving G.O.D. Got a problem with it, throw them deuces, peace. Cause I ain't gotta know you, I know the Holy Spirit. If you ain't got it, then get like shouty and get it. Some people are tell you prosperity is a joke. That's cause they reaping the very same drama that they sold. Take a second to read your Bible, shout it, then you know. Shout out to Obama, but this year Jesus got my vote. He wins it every time, there ain't no need to lie. Drunk off the spirit, communion, sipping that holy wine. Saved me too many times, why would I turn around? I wanna see all you have to offer, father to child. Yeah, I lost 2 daddies in my lifetime, but the third time's a charm, and I know you'll do me right. That's why I choose you. Yeah, come on. That's why I choose you. Now say, you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah, 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 come on. I feel like I'm at the top of my game, on a mountain that I can move at the sound of his name. A mustard seed of faith is all it takes to break down barriers. Spiritual post office, holy mail carrier. Nothing's more scarier thinking I can't have you. That's why I got to grab you. My life to use a passion. Pedal to the metal for the Lord like I was dragging. His love for me is always free, but that never taxing. Bagging as much as the spirit is I can handle. And now I can say you are the flame to my candle. I wanna be the most God-fearing two-legged mammal. The way of the world has 1 billion and 1 scandals, but they call the righteousness opens to 1 channel. The way is very narrow, that's why many don't travel. So with my talents, I'ma do what I do. And every time I spit a verse, gotta give it to you. I choose you. Yeah, that's right. choose you. One more time, homie. Everybody say you chose me, so I choose you. Yeah.
I'm Dr. LaTrace Brookshire, and welcome to Ask the Good Doctor. And we are live here at the Essex Culinary Resort and Spa.
We're here at the Wellness Warriors Weekend, and there are wonderful local companies here representing products that are wellness-based.
Just finished water aerobics. I enjoyed myself 82 movements like never do on my land. I feel like I'm 20 again.
We got to relax and really breathe and really connect with our body, and I loved it. Everything that this book is your story. It's your story, it's your story, it's everybody's story. You must stand where there is darkness, we must find light. It was Grandma who instilled in her that she must hold her head up straight.
If you've got to be 25 to 30 years old and you've not talked with a therapist, put the book down and go get a therapist.
Finding vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy.
As the theme goes so far this evening, you gotta get that stuff out.
I consistently pause before I speak. I'm Dr. Wilma Hunt Watts, a podiatric physician and surgeon, also known as a podiatrist.
We're here doing a pain management clinic.
All of these skincare collections are designed to be mixed and matched, depending on what your skincare needs are.
We had a good time, energy, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
And today we are doing Kitchen Warriors. At Kitchen Warriors, I actually prepare a meal, teach everyone how to make it, and then we sit down and eat it together. This is from outside. This is the whole farm-to-table concept here at the Essex.
The fruits of the spirit have been reignited inside of me. So I'm walking out of here with my joy, with my peace, and my love. So I am a better mother, a better wife when I go back home.
I knew something was wrong with my body. Hi, my name is Kelly Bryant, and I am the face of a type 2 diabetic. I am also the author of a book series called Numbers that is available on Amazon. The series is about how I used a low-carb diet lifestyle change to get my numbers in non-diabetic range. I am living proof that it is possible to go from a 16.6 A1C to a 5.2. So let's kick type 2 diabetes, one number at a time.
Hi, this is Terry Cummings, formerly of the NBA, retired after 18 years, 18 seasons in the league. Just been chilling, working hard, though I think you work harder when you retire, but nevertheless running companies, pastoring 14 years, CEO over a hybrid of a television station, of cable and streaming, and finally pushing toward the bid for the Hall of Fame. Level up and join us.
You are listening to Level Up with Bob Barrett-Wall from Enter the Diamond.
Hey, this is Rodney Damon Collins, inviting you to Level Up. Check them out every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hey, this is Shay Bynes with Kingdom Driven Entrepreneur. Let's level up. Tune in every Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m.
Hi, this is Pat Nash, your dream coach. Want to take your dreams to the next level? Then listen to Level Up each and every Sunday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. I am.
Hey, this is Miguel Nunnery of Babies and Beards. Let's have a real conversation with Level Up every Sunday, 3 to 6 p.m.